Hello?
Hello.
Hello? See a rat?
Damn.
Look at the rat.
I,
Damn
I,
farmer.
the super rat. So yeah, you should have put a farmer there. That's what you should have done, for the record.
But the rat is cute.
Yeah, but everybody calls me the farmer.
You know, farms are full of rats. You know that?
So are ships.
And that's why they have barn cats. So they're barn mouses. You're a barn rat.
He's ready, Nikki. If you want to open it up so he can come in.
Okay, give me 1 second. Something is not popping up, and I don't know why is it not popping up. Where is it?
Tell me when to click it so I can send it.
It's a limit 3. There, should work now.
All right, I'll put join now.
Ah!
Let's see if he's smart enough to click the button.
I know he has a brain.
There's
a brain in there.
That's debatable. Debatable.
Size of a peanut. No, not debatable.
Maybe. There he is.
Oh, the way it looks like.
What's up, Robin?
Excuse me?
Just look at. Sorry. Just look at the YouTube. Look at the YouTube. Just
Hold on. I can't see it.
Oh yeah, you're driving, right?
Can you not show it live in here like you did with me?
Hold on, because the only Robin I see here is. Give me 1 second. I'll show you. Don't play with me right now, okay?
I mean, you should have said yes to my offer that I asked you first, and then you're like, "Oh no, blah blah blah. I don't want to play the game anymore." Blah, 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 blah.
So, are we on live right now or no? Not yet.
Yes, we're live now.
Okay, got it. Never mind then.
Alright, let me move the chat. It's covering you guys right here. Yeah, that looks good. Good morning, Mindy. So, like, if you guys see the link, just share it around. We're gonna talk about mid-range build with Bucees and JustTheTip. Well, actually, Bucees is just there just to make sure Tip does not spread the secret sauce.
Exactly.
Batman always brings his Robin.
Yes. Well,
that's
his
why you're here, Tip. That's why you're here, Tip.
That's why Tip has the cheese, while Robin does not have cheese.
Excuse me?
Just go to the
Nikki,
YouTube and look at yourself.
Nikki, go to 567 and go to Tip City. Do it right now, please.
Okay, hold on.
Okay. This
Give me
is
one sec. Oh my god, I'm a genius. Give me 1 second. Let me open my game. Now everybody's gonna remember Tip as being a rat.
Okay. So just click on his city.
Hold on, it's loading. Do you know how long it takes for the game to load in the computer? A long time. Alright, let's go to 567.
Change it real quick. You change it.
I got the screenshot FYI right now, so.
Dang, he won't let me change it for 13 hours.
Womp womp. 557. 556. Why is it so hard to find the 5656, 571, 69, and 567?
I'm on the top small island or black dirt, whatever you want to call it, left corner.
Yeah, all you gotta do is just click on his city, on his profile.
Yeah, I'm Robin.
Exactly. Okay. Click on Dark.
Yes, it says he's Robin. Yes, but it's too late now. You have the Robin mark on you. I can't change that.
Wait, what? Hold on.
Thought you were so cute.
Okay. I see what time it is
You're
right
a little
now.
you're a little hamster with a robin mark, and then Tip is a little a little rat with cheese.
Okay. I'll let it slide. As long as he's not Batman, that's it.
I know. I forgot
he
to
has
tell
the
you.
cheese.
Oh, I should have so had her do the Batman Robin. That would have been awesome.
You should have done it, but
I know.
no.
Drop the ball. All right, what
Yes, you did.
questions you got for us? Let's go.
Okay. So, Bo, you have a lot of background noise. You can mute
Oh,
yourself.
yeah, of course.
Okay. So, since Tip is the interviewee, I will ask question about yourself. We're gonna learn a little bit about you, Tip.
Fair
That's
enough.
how I always start the interview, learning a little bit about the player that I am interviewing, and then we go straight to the topic. But before I do that, I forgot I need to send the link in the main AOO so more people can watch and learn about mid-range builds so they don't miss out. So give me one little second, because like we gotta do that real quick if I find the Discord. So how's your morning, Tip? How's your morning?
Wonderful. Can't complain.
Yeah. Drinking Monster.
Right. Sugar.
Sugar free.
Gotta get that B12.
Yes. I already had my coffee too. But it was not caffeinated enough, so I feel a little ippy.
Should have drank a Monster.
I told you I cannot. Let's see. Da 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 da. I am live now. Topic is all about mid-range build. Up in the YouTube. Should I say all about mid-range? Because like technically we're all about mid-range.
Gotcha.
Mid-range. Yeah. Oh, can't type today, God. Okay. So, my first question is, as always, what made you download this game?
A lovely Facebook ad.
No way. What year?
Got me. Gosh, I don't know. How long has it been? It's been 3.5, 4 years now, maybe? Maybe. Right around there? I don't know. It's been a long time. But yeah, zombie, the lovely little zombie ad they had on there looked fun to play. Clicked it, downloaded it, played it, didn't know what the heck I was doing for about, I don't know, 90 days, and kind of really only logged on it maybe once a week, once every 10 days, just to do the little zombie thing, and that was it.
So you thought it was a tower defense skin like everybody else?
Absolutely. They got me.
Yeah, that's how it gets everybody.
Got me.
Mm-hmm.
Then the social aspect of it kicked in, and then, next thing you know, they got you.
What was your first nation?
550 was my first. Well, I take that back. 547 before they merged. Before they ever merged was 547.
547, and then they merged into what?
The final merger nation is 550.
And how did you get to 567?
I was probably the top city in 550, I would say. And along with another counterpart back then, his name was Ederine, if I'm saying that right. And great nation, nothing bad to say about him. I just was an LRA player, and I'd always wanted to learn MRA. Bucees kept telling me for years that it was the better build, and it was more fun. And then an opportunity came up to join 567 and take over an MRA account, mid-range account, if you want to call it. And I thought it was a great opportunity, and also it kind of revived the game for me. You know what I mean? It made it more fun. I was able to expand my knowledge and learn a lot more, and it just kind of, I guess, added more caffeine to the game, if you want to say.
Someone by the name of Lee, the Jackal, said 550 with Shady, and OP.
Yep, OP.
Okay, yeah. OP and Shady.
Yep. Both amazing players.
So becoming mid-range has spiced up the game life for you, I could say.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, okay. Why is your name Just the Tip? How did we get to that?
I'm a I guess if you want to call it a gun enthusiast. I kind of have a lot of bad habits, AOZ being one of them. And,
Mm-hmm.
one of the guns I had has a name on it. It was Malone Labib, which is basically
Malone Lady.
Greek for "come and take it."
Oh.
And on that, there's a symbol of a little thing that came with a brochure. It was said "Just the Tip," and it was referring to a bullet. And I just went with it. Everybody had their niche and name, and kind of stuck with it.
Oh, I see, I see. So, like a bullet that steals all the kills.
We do.
Yes, we'll get to that question. Why is everyone calling you a farmer? I mean, judging the kills. I mean,
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
after so long.
I would say my first nation or two was all about the strong survive, and after playing the game as long as I had now, I kind of regret that. And what I mean by that is Woody said it a long time ago. You got to grow your nation, and there's a lot of players that may not be big players or even average players, and then all of a sudden, 3 months, 6 months, even a year into it, they may all of a sudden blow up and decide, man, I really like this, and then they'll become a good player per se. Whether it be through tactics or money or activity or whatever. And I think if you kill the so-called farmers off too soon, you don't give them a chance to see what they can contribute to the nation. I think that's a bad thing. So I'm the guy that likes to try and keep as many of the farmers alive per se, as long as they adhere to the rules of the nation, and hopefully grow into it and help. If you kill them, they don't come back. It's that simple. Then you have to pray for a merger. And as everybody's complaining in AOZ right now, I think everybody wants a merger, and
Mm-hmm.
many are justified in asking. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, you have to grow with what you have, and
Right.
with that, then the mergers will come, and then it's a win-win.
If they come.
Yes, true. Something will happen. We don't know what, but something.
Hi, Jeff Mole. Let's see. What's the other question? At some point in your gaming journey, were you an R5? Or have you been an
Uh,
R5?
no, I have all the respect in the world for the R5s, but I think they're crazy. Um,
Why is that?
there's there's a difference in socialness and craziness, and I mean, you just imagine if you attack a farm per se that you think is a
Uh-huh.
dead or a troll or whatever, or was in another alliance, and heaven forbid you hit the wrong farm, and next thing you know, you get 5,000 messages as an R5, and all the drama you got to deal with, and you got 100 players in your alliance, and every little thing they do, you're responsible for, and you have to answer for and listen to all the messages and hear all the crying, and then the inner bickering too. Yeah, pass. Not interested. I want to play the game. I want to, kill and have fun. That's what's fun for me. I'm not the R5. I don't want to be an R4. I
Gotcha.
don't want to be an R5. I don't want to be any of that. I just want to show up and be the soldier.
Will Bodisi agree to that?
Well,
Was Bodisi your
oh,
R5, right? Bodisi was an R5,
uh,
right?
him and another individual are both the R5. They kind of share it, but
Mm.
yeah, I mean they do a good job. His knowledge base of the game is intense. He
Cool.
knows a lot. I mean, when he was a kid, he grew up watching Batman and Robin, and he really focused on Robin and how to teach, help and grow players.
I guess the person that shares the R5 is here on the chat. Damn,
Uh,
Bodisi! So much background noise. God damn, I'm gonna lower your let me lower you a little bit. What are you
okay.
gonna say, Robin?
Excuse me. No. You were just talking to Robin. Yeah, being an R5, it totally sucks. It does take away the fun
Mm-hmm.
because you do have to deal with the drama. You do have to deal with different personalities. You do have to deal with a whole lot of things that most people don't want to deal with, right?
Right. That is right.
to compete. You want to do all of those things.
I think you're losing signal.
He's not talking
Yeah,
either.
I'm driving right now. I'm driving right now, so it's spotty. So you guys go ahead.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. When you get home, you can talk. It's
I,
okay.
I'm going to a restaurant right now.
I sent
Oh.
Robin to the store, so he'll be back shortly.
Someone by the let's see what's the chat saying. James said he definitely agrees with that. I share R5 and it takes away a lot of the fun, which is true. Being R5 is a big responsibility. Hook Deck says, I've been R5 since day one of our world. We would love to step down and play the game, but nobody wants the job. Yeah. Being R5 is hard, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody. I mean, there are some people out there, I will say, that they crave for that so-called power. I don't wish it on anybody. I really don't, because once you get there, you may not like what you get.
Mm-hmm. And besides, those who crave it don't know what they're doing. Doesn't mean that they're capable
There's a
to
lot of
be an
truth in that.
R5 or be a leader.
There's
Because
a
like
lot of truth in that.
it takes a certain person to be a good R5.
It's
and to
almost
make
like
the
having a
alliance
second
work.
job, literally.
Yeah, literally. I mean, even being an R4 was rough, man.
Yeah, I did that for a little bit, and that's what made me not want to ever do it anymore. I told my nation very simple: if you put me R4, I will quit.
R1 for life.
Yes,
All about
I
being
have
R1.
no desire to be any of those deals. I mean, again, it's a lot of work, and it takes a lot of effort and time. And I'm actually, for those that are an R4 or R5, I'm very appreciative in the efforts and things that they do for our nation, or any nation for that matter. It takes a lot. I mean, it really does, and they put a lot of effort and time into the game and doing that. And my way of thanking them is by putting a lot of effort into the events, from activity or helping or whatever I can do from that side of it.
For sure. I mean, anybody who's in leadership put the most time in the game than someone that just come in for the event, and that's a fact.
Oh yeah, you're prepping for the event. You're telling them what to do, what formations to set up, when to hit, when not to hit, what teams to be on.
Especially during Void or Frenzy, you got the people collecting locations.
Absolutely.
Where are the alliances? Are they stronger than you? How many cities of C40s, etc.?
Absolutely, setting traps, all those things. They're the ones who set all that stuff up.
Yeah. Let's see. That's probably not relatable. What is keeping you around? I'm gonna guess it's the social aspect.
I would say probably, yeah, more so the social aspect of it, of course. Yeah, you meet a lot of good people and friends. A lot of what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say enemies. That sounds bad, but I don't know what word I'm looking for. But
rivals.
Rivals. There you go. I like that. You find rivals.
I know a certain someone whose name shall not be mentioned because that person is banned from this channel, banned from anywhere near me. He's your biggest rival.
Right? And
right.
That makes it fun too, to be honest. It really does.
Somehow. Okay, let's jump into the topic of mid-range build.
Fair enough.
All right. When should a player start deciding to be mid-range? When is the best time?
Obviously it depends on your spend level. I mean, that's a huge part in it. But if you're an average to below average spender, I would say by C36, you kind of need to know what direction you're wanting to be, because that's when the rockets or the snipers come out. So that would be from a cost perspective and troops that you have. I would say that's kind of the best place, I would say, and maybe even 34, to be honest, because if you're 34, you're going for LRA. But I would say 36 for sure, no later than 36. Anything past C36, and it gets really expensive to change.
Do you recommend players to at least try be long range in the beginning, or just straight up, if they're set in stone to become mid range, they should just do it right there and then, or wait to be C34 or C36?
The question is why do players not choose MRA is what I would say. What I mean by that is LRA is very easy. It's very easy to do. It's very easy to set the troops. There's not, I mean, I know there's a lot of counter stuff, but it's still not as hard as it is as setting a formation or troops for an MRA build. An LRA build is easier. That's why, what, 95% of the people are LRA, I believe? It's crazy the amount.
Yes. I will say long range is the main, like the main build for everybody. Somebody by the name Jazz says, "Do you agree that mid-range build is more expensive?"
It used to be. It used to be the mid-range players' troops would die quite often, but if you have 2 or 3 players in your team that are mid-range players, it's no longer expensive at all. Now that being said, I will say that currently on a C41, it is more expensive to recruit troops than an LRA because they have 2 camps to recruit cannons versus we have MRA players, mid-range, sorry, only have the one workshop to recruit troops. Your power troop, which is your troopers.
And as the same person says, and that they steal all the kills.
We
I
do.
mean,
We
it's
do.
a fact. They do
We
steal
do.
all the kills. They do. They do.
We do, because typically we'll run three troops. They'll run 3 troops, and our power shot is pretty intense. And I'm talking about the trooper, and it does kill a lot of troops. So we do tend to steal a lot of the kills.
Which one is the trooper? Does it come from the camp or the factory, or is it the other one?
It comes from the one here. Let me look. I'm bad with those names, but here I'll have it here in just a second.
Yeah, so that way we can show what troops are you talking about.
Absolutely. Here it is.
Workshop.
It's the workshop. Yeah, I thought it was.
All right, the workshop is this one right here.
So whereas the factory, you have 2 factories, and you have those leveled up to whatever level your city for the troop that you're recruiting. If you're a long range player, you have the ability to recruit for 2. Now, when you're C36, you can recruit rockets from 2 camps. So it's kind of a balance really at C36. Because the main troop is either going to be sniper or rockets. So it's kind of a wash at that point. So from a cost standpoint, it's about the same to recruit both.
So these guys. So at what level, when they're level C36, they should work with rockets?
Yes, if you're
Not-
LRA or a mid-range player, rockets is gold. Absolutely.
Rockets is gold. Okay. I remember back then when you were when C35 was like the main city, I remember Havocs were the mid-range play.
And they are, but once you turn C36, Havocs won't serve any purpose. Rockets would be your main focus.
What about bikes? Are bikes not used?
They are. They, again, you have to see what they do. They kind of speed up the attack.
Oh.
So you're going to use, it used to be you would use bikes for your daily deal, your challenge elite zombie. You used to use bikes for Medici, those things. Now you'll use a different troop.
So technically bikes are for player versus environment rather than player versus player.
Yeah, they'll speed up the attack a little.
Okay.
They're not as I mean, they're still a good troop, don't get me wrong.
Bikers used to be a lot more important before the Titan equipment came out. It goes before the zombies, so it would technically be like if you ran MRHB, it would technically be kind of like your tankier troops because there was no reason to run huge melee troops. So that was the big function. But once the Titan equipment came out, that kind of made them fairly irrelevant, I would say, in player versus player.
I see.
There you have it.
All right. What if a player is already a C38 long range and then they decided they wanted to be a mid range? Is it worth it for them to switch, or is it going to be extremely expensive and extremely difficult since his build with the Titans, the officers, and everything else is long range?
Your Titans isn't going to matter per se. Your plane really won't matter per se. because you're going to raise all that stuff slowly over time and as you balance it and raise it. I would say it depends on how many troops you have and what your unworldly levels are. I'm referring to your unworldly levels on your officers. And if you have, what your if you've got 1 million troops and you don't have a lot of the correct unworldlies, and maybe you're still kind of halfway doing your unworldlies on your LRA, I would say it wouldn't be too expensive. But if you've got double S's on your unworldlies that are all the correct ones, set for long range, and you've got 2.5, 3.5 million troops, now it starts getting a little expensive. If you were gonna switch, I would say that's fine, but I would go ahead and start recruiting the troops first, and because you need them anyways to offset the algorithm now when you're fighting each other, MRA to LRA. So it's not a bad thing to have those troops, but I wouldn't switch over until you had the troops that you need, because you switch over and you got one fleet. What good is that going to do you?
Yeah, makes perfect sense. Jazz asks, when you become C39, recruit gunners or go for C41?
I would tell you that, well, you got gunners and you got axemen at 39. So both serve a different purpose. Axemen are going to help you on if your castle is hit, per se, or they're more of a defensive troop. Your gunners are more of all we really use gunners for are going to be like Medici or the Challenge Elite Zombie. That's really it. I would tell you to probably save up and not pop C39. I would tell you to save up enough uranium from C38 and then go straight to 40 and pop it, because you gain the tanks at that point. And but 41 again is, if being a C40 is only going to gain you tanks if you're a mid-range player. You need the troopers.
And also at 41, you gain the T13 zombies.
Correct. It's, and when I say troopers, let me clarify just so everybody's on the same. I'm referring to the Havoc Breakers.
Havoc Breakers, which are the blue guys in the workshop.
Correct. So it just
right
depends on your level of, it's kind of crappy right now because of the way it is. C38 really doesn't help anybody per se. C38 it helps an LRA player because you get the EMPs. C39 kind of helps the LRA players a little bit because you can get the gunners, but I wouldn't mass recruit them because it's not something that you're going to use. Once you get to 41, you're never going to use them again except for those events.
The player versus environment events.
Correct. Yes. Now the Axemen are good. If you can recruit 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 Axemen, those T13 Axemen are phenomenal for defense. They will definitely save you.
If you get attacked.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't save Raz, by the way, so.
Oh my god.
You might need a few more.
Bucees, the name that shall not be mentioned. Treat it like Voldemort. Treat it like Voldemort. We shall not mention this name. It's like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Banned. It's banned.
Might as well change my name right now to Harry Potter then.
Harry Potter.
I like Robin. It's more something we can kind of go with. It matches the face and everything and the attack style.
No need to project your insecurities. Okay, no need to project your insecurities onto others. All right, we all know who Robin is.
He shush you. J Dog said Gunner seems to kill the same or little more than troopers for me in Ironblood and Polar. Do they work differently during those events? If you have
it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same. What he's referring to in Ironblood, when you buy the gems or whatever they are, and you add more troops for those packages or whatever, you don't get a choice of what you get. Of course, it just gives you kind of a mixture of everything. So, if you're attacking an all-out fleet with them, yes, absolutely, it's a good troop to have for sure. But if you're doing, 500 fleet to 500 fleet, no, I wouldn't recommend it. If you're doing 4 million troops to 4 million troops, yes, absolutely, they're going to benefit you. Agreed, 100%.
They have a different mechanism, so excuse me, the outcome is going to be different, not in terms of kills, but in terms of what you're killing, right? When you have troopers, when you have rockets, you're killing the primary damage dealers of long-range players. So with every 3 hits, they become weaker and weaker. So they're doing a lot less.
Oh, we lost him. No.
Sorry, the map falls down in his face sometimes when he talks. So
I think he went through the woods.
yeah, no, it's the bat. It's the Robin mask. It doesn't fit his face correctly, and it falls down sometimes, kind of like
well, that's why it's on his eyebrows. Anyways,
absolutely. Yes, keep pulling it back.
I don't like you guys right now, FYI.
You like us. Let's see. What's the next question? We did talk about when is it too late when I mentioned about the C38 wanting to go. Agreed. Gunners are not at the same level when used in the mines. How about uranium mines? Let's talk about uranium mine.
Rockets all the way up until 41. I know Bucees and another gentleman in his nation, when 41 popped, they were still using rockets for a long time and still doing extremely well.
So T12 rockets?
Yeah, they were still killing it.
Did it change? Or is it still T12 rockets?
Yeah, I mean, that's just until you get to C41, of course. But so at 38, 39, 40, you'd still want to use the rockets, would be my recommendation. Save your recruits for the Havocs when you get to 41.
Because those are what? Game changer?
Oh, drastically.
So let's talk about the Warley stars.
Player.
Yes, Bucees.
Hi.
Hi.
There was a certain 550 player when he had C40, he was being beaten by T11, T12, so it will largely depend on your overall strength.
True.
J-Dog, you're so right. Some of us will never see C41. For me, I feel like I will never see C40 anytime soon because like I'm still gotta do my wall. And then after the wall, I gotta do my haul.
Well, they have, and as you know, as the game has evolved, uranium has actually become cheaper than what it used to.
Right.
And I truly believe it's going to continue to be cheaper as time progresses, because the whole point of having the higher cities is, for people to want to get there. But if it's so expensive that not everybody can eventually get there, then it doesn't benefit anybody. People won't try.
So. Yeah, like right now it's the uranium special. So
yeah,
what's today? Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday.
If you've noticed, uranium packs are just, I mean, they're so prevalent now. It's insane. Whereas they used to barely come out.
Yeah. I remember when the whole special came out and people were like, "Oh my god, is a new level coming out anytime soon? Oh my god, are they gonna release a new level? I'm gonna quit the game."
They've been saying that forever.
For real. All right, let's go to the Warley stars.
Okay.
So, for a mid-range player, what should they focus on? I'm gonna guess just name the officer and I'll point at it.
You're talking.
You gotta look at yours.
Yeah, right.
6 stars.
So Tifa, for example.
Tifa, yes.
Obviously, if you're going to be a mid-range player, you're not going to want anything to do with long range. It's that simple. I really can't.
What's that?
So the two things you're going to want to focus on, just as if you were a long-range player, except substitute anything for the word long range, substitute it for mid-range. So, in other words, you're still going to want your melee
HP.
You're still going to want all that type of stuff. And then you're going to want to have your mid-range attack in nation, cross nation, whatever's available per officer. Then the real, there's a new debate. Do you then, with your extra ones that you have available, in this case on Tifa, for example, you have 2 extra ones. What do you use those? Do you go melee defense? Do you go melee attack? Do you go zombie attack increase? I would say that is a personal choice. It depends on what what are you trying to accomplish with your build. You know what I mean? Not every build is the same. You also have siege too. Keep that in mind. Are you a Civil War nation? If so, you're going to want to add siege attack. So it really depends on what type of player you want to be. Mid range and long range is just the first step. Then you need to decide, what avenue you want to go from there.
What about the reduced damage and the reduced damage, right?
Well,
Obviously,
that's
you
not
want the
on
mid range reduced
Yeah.
damage, or do you prefer? But because 95% of player base is long range, you will still want the long range reduced damage.
Well, I would tell you this: if you are this is kind of a no-brainer. If you're a mid-range player, obviously we have 3 damages that we have the options. We have reductions. We have a melee reduction. We have a long-range reduction, and we have a mid-range reduction. If you are a mid-range player, if you're gonna, and I'm saying what you should start with. Keep this in mind. I would not start with mid-range reduction because again, 95% of the opponents you're going to be facing are LRA.
Yeah.
So you're going to want to focus on your long-range reduction, is what I would tell you. The melee reduction isn't you're not reducing what's the word I'm looking for? You're not reducing their gosh, I always get this backwards. You're reducing the damage that they give to you. So it's not a huge benefit. It's not going to benefit you only in big battles with massive people. So if you're a nation like 385 that does 80-man hits, yes, the melee damage one in the warfare officers is probably not a bad idea. But if you are, 20, 30, 40 group hit, I don't think it'll make as big of impact. And it's definitely not going to help you in the uranium mines if you're a uranium mine warrior, or if you're that one guy that wants to hop around and kill everybody by yourself. It's not going to really help you as much unless you get in a trap and they hit you with 20 players or something, 25, 30 players. It's not going to benefit you as much. So if you're a mid-range player, you're definitely going to want to do the LRA damage one first, and then probably the mid-range slowly afterwards, of course.
Chesmo asked, do you guys use mid-range defense?
That's the golden question again. It depends on the build you're doing. We've tried both, but it just depends on what you're doing. And I would say, it's really up to your build. It really is, because you can take there's different versions of mid-range, and there's different versions of LRA. There's a lot of people that are trying to go hybrid, a small amount of hybrid now, and with the officer equipment that is out now, that's definitely changed the game and is probably going to change the builds slowly over time too. So I don't know about that one. I would tell you that I've done both. I've had success with both. I don't think it's a huge difference. I think you need to have a certain amount of mid-range HP or defense, whatever you want to call it. But depends on what else you have. If you have other things that are really high and lacking, then I would focus on the other things first. It's not one of the priorities, is what I would say.
Don't do defense, mid-range defense.
Yeah, I was thinking like you guys would prefer to have a melee defense rather than a mid-range defense.
Yeah.
If you were to
that's
choose
still
between
debatable.
those two, yes. If that was your choice, I would say yes. The melee would benefit you greater than mid-range defense, for sure.
Yeah, I know like a lot of things are like no-brainers, but remember we do have viewers who are new. So not a lot of things click, and obviously not everybody knows. There's not that many, I would say, guides about mid-range, because like, yeah, you switch the long-range stuff to mid-range, but there's still like extra stuff. You know what I mean?
For sure, you definitely want to have a high melee, HP. That's probably the most important thing, I would tell you.
Why is that?
The attacks are mainly focused on the front line at first. So the longer your front line lives, typically the one who has the front line that lives the longest, 98% of the time wins the battle.
What about if they have their Titans? You did mention like if somebody's switching from long range to mid range, they don't need to worry about their plane or Titans.
It doesn't affect it either way.
It doesn't affect them. Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to. There's other troops you can set in there for meat per se that will protect your Titans. For an LRA player, or for a mid-range player, they're going to add back row. For an LRA player, they're going to add mid, and that kind of protects both the sets of their titans. Is what the purpose of that is.
Is there a way, if I can ask, and hopefully this is not touching the secret sauce base, for a beginner, what could be like a good fleet for a beginner, like somebody who is trying to play the events as a mid ranger, just the basics of the basics.
It
Because
depends on the event you're playing. I mean, or what event are
Mm.
you playing? Because each event literally has a different fleet setup.
Ah.
So, and what I'm referring to is team attacks. Let's say you're doing Void. You're going to want to have, and you're doing a big hit. Your LRA players are going to want to take their 3 main, troops per se, and the mid range are going to want to take their 3 main troops, and that's kind of what you focus on. You going in with 4-4-4 or 4-5-4, it's not going to benefit you.
It's never going to be 198-1.
Yeah, the 1198 is dead. For those who know what that is,
it's just a joke at this point.
Yeah. Don't use that.
I'd like to say something about that formation specifically. That formation was the reason why mid-range players were losing a lot of troops. Because nobody would run frontline, especially when you were starting out before Titan equipment came out. Nobody ran a lot of, front. So technically, your mid-range would function as the meat shield. That's where a lot of the losses came from.
So in other words, that hit first before the back, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, because there was absolutely nothing there was not enough troops in front of your mid-range troops, so they would be the ones taking the big hit, actually. So right now, since Titan equipment was released, and I'm assuming pretty much like group formations are a known thing, and everybody is required to use a fairly substantial amount of frontline, that mitigates the losses. So it's not any different than your long range losses.
Correct, which is what we're experiencing.
And this is why I have said way back then that frontline is very important on any group attack or solo attacks. Even uranium mine, like you do need frontline.
Yeah, you want your melee HP as high or higher than your attack. So there's a lot of people who run 200-300% lower melee versus attack, thinking attack is better. Attack is good, but again, it goes back to the golden question or answer. If your melee dies first, there's a high probability you're going to die first.
So that should answer Hudek's question. Is defense even a valid stat? HP is much more preferable, right? Yeah.
HP over defense, HP, yes.
Yes.
But they both serve a purpose. I will tell you that.
Yeah, there's a purpose. Like, if your HP, if you got your skills maxed out on HP, you got your 6 stars with HP. The whole debate of melee defense versus melee attack. I guess most players that I've spoken to choose melee defense rather than attack.
But I'll go on this side. Both are good. Let me explain. You're right. Melee defense is probably more prevalent, but melee attack is good too. Because again, it goes back to you're killing the front line faster. So it kind of
would you say that to somebody who's on a budget or somebody who's a whale?
It depends, because a budget guy isn't attacking a whale. You see what I mean? You're attacking when you're in the uranium mines. The C34 isn't attacking the C30 or C41. He's attacking another C34. So you have to put that into perspective. You're building for what you're gonna do, or you're attacking for what you're gonna do based off your budget, right?
Right.
So the key to it is balance. Everything has to be about balance, and it's a balanced build and what your focus is towards. Are you wanting to kill the line faster or slower, or are you hoping to defend more and allow your attacking troops to kill more? So it can go either way. It really can. I've seen both work. I wouldn't tarnish either one. I wouldn't say either one is bad. I would tell you it all depends on everything you have for support. How strong are your Titans? How strong is your warplane? how good are your unworldlies? Having a melee defense purple versus having a double S that you rolled melee attack. Maybe the melee attack might be better. You see what I'm saying?
You want to share something, Bodeezy?
Uh,
Is that your
yeah, no, I'm not gonna say anything on that. You know,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm just gonna pass on this.
Oh my god. Okay. So let's say let's talk about budget players for a second because obviously
I would say on that, I would
uh-huh,
say do what the nation does.
do what the nation does.
In other words, if your nation is going heavy melee attack, then imagine 40 accounts going heavy on melee attack in a group hit. Would that kill the front faster?
But that's not a
Absolutely.
nation thing. That's more like an alliance thing.
But you've got to, you say that. Well, yeah, I'll go with, I'm sorry, I will say alliance thing. So if you're going into a big battle and you've got 40 players that are doing a group hit in your alliance, of course, and you got 40 of them with a high melee attack or a good chunk of melee attack, is that a good thing? I would say yes.
Yeah, because it averages.
Absolutely. So that's why I say now you having 3 players with high melee attack and 37 players with, something else, maybe not as good. So I would say kind of follow what the nation does, but have a balance, but still kind of, if you're the only mid-range player in an alliance with 100 players, not necessarily a good thing.
Yeah, you'll end up being solo and you'll be the one that will lose the most troops.
Correct. So that's why, you want to have a good percentage of players that are the same build as you and replicate. Like there's probably 4 or 5 accounts in 5, 6, 7 that have the same exact build to the T. And we do that on purpose because literally when we get in big battles, we just murder them, literally.
Yeah, I think 219 has the same format because sometimes if you meet them at Boyd, you'll see 5 or 8 of them go in and then they do fast retreat. Even though they did the retreat, they get the most kills, which gains them big points
For sure.
during Void. So I'm guessing that's the strategy that you're
So
trying to say.
my ultimate answer would be find out what other players in the nation are going to do it as well, and kind of follow the path of them, and that would benefit you as a whole instead of individually, is what I would say.
Yeah, typically if you have a good leader.
Yeah, we're still looking for one.
Wow, you dethroned Bodeezy. Bodeezy's not leader anymore. Wow.
I don't even play anymore, so.
Nah, Bodeezy
yeah, okay.
is a consultant now. I used to have him close by, but now I've got him. He's out running errands and stuff with his map.
Is he a therapist now? Are we having a therapy section?
Well,
This is an intervention.
I kind of send Robin out to do all sorts of things for me.
Wow. All right. Elodin asks, is there a consensus about not mixing troops in fleets for group attacks? E.G. MR players should bring 0 long-range troops and long-range players should have 0 mid-range troops.
Yes.
Yes. Even I can say yes. Yeah. I know about that.
100% correct. It's also going to lessen the kills, and there's a lot of other advantages too, which I won't go into. But yes, he's correct.
You're correct. Chesmo says, if you have high melee stats, HP up there, it's mid defense good to have as well. Mid defense is more for group attacks? Question mark.
No, it's not.
Go ahead, Bo. I'll let you answer that.
Yeah. So defense overall is going to be a lot weaker than HP. The argument of melee defense is it's not as a replacement to HP. It's as an addition, right? You want your front line to be stronger than your mid in terms of your ability to get hit. So if you're going to prioritize defense, it would have to go on melee. So just steer clear of mid-range defense.
Agree. Well, Hopefully that answered your question, Chesmo. Let's see. Oh yeah, we were talking about basic a basic formation. I think what was your answer to that again? Forgot.
It depends. What event are you playing?
Right event. So you were
because every
mentioning
event.
about I feel like the main event that everybody focus on a lot is Void
Mhm.
or Elite Wars. Uranium Mine, I feel like Uranium Mine is mostly like a solo type of thing, like an individual.
Well,
Like a lot of people. Mm-hmm.
the Elite Wars are going to be similar to the group hits in Void, which is what we've already discussed. The LRA player is going to want to take one set of troops, and the mid-range player is going to want to take their troops.
Right.
And that's literally what you would do on those two hits.
So let's talk about a budget player, a person who is on a budget and wants to focus on being a mid-range player. What should he focus on? Like officers first, or his 6 stars, the new thing, officer equipment, the Titan? Like where should his focus be?
Balance. In other words, the most bang for your buck. In other words, you taking one unworldly and going from level 1 to level 30 and not doing anything else would be insane. The expense would be the amount of money that you'd have to spend, that you could have used that money and gained greater stats faster by spreading it out. Would be 10 times more beneficial. So in other words, every unworldly, for example, I would set a number that you're comfortable based off your spend. So maybe it's level 5. Take everything to level 5. Then when you get to level 5, maybe then set everything to level 8. And then, but when you go to that next level, I would tell you to focus on the main priorities, which would be your attack and your HP. So
and
I would
reductions.
Yes, correct.
And reductions.
Yeah, because your damage is huge. I mean, can't say enough about that.
Like I always tell players, always focus on your officers, your war officers, but your strategy officers are important because you want that fleet size, the garage, and then the equipment, because the equipment gives you that boost up of reduction and increased damage, in my opinion, and also the extra stats.
I would still level them up all even. I would do warfare, drill, and fleet. I would do it all.
But because this person's on a budget.
Well, it all depends what kind of budget. If you're looking overall, the best bang for the buck will be officers. Some of them are fairly easy to get, so some 6 stars are going to be fairly easy to get. You will need, like you said, strategy, so you will need your expansions. That is going to be a key in anything, in any event, in absolutely anything you do in this game. Your fleet size will be a huge deal. So, for instance, if you're, I don't know, if you're doing like $20,000 per month spent, or if you're doing $200 per month spent, that's obviously like balance is not going to be there, because if you're doing 200 per month, you need the speeds, you need the heals, so a lot of that is going to go towards that. So things like your Titans, right? Your Titan equipment, yeah, you can do maybe like a few levels. You can probably get a gold, but it's not going to be as big of a deal as officers will be. So if you are like on a very low end, I would say zero in on officers, do your warfare, do your strategy. Drills are going to be quite a bit more expensive, so you also have to account for that. So like the 6 stars, they're not going to be as easy to get. And officers all the way.
Like I would think. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I would also mention that as you're doing the officers, another cheap for a lower spender is going to be focused on killing monsters to get the equipment, your basic equipment leveled up.
Yeah, now that we have higher level monsters, it should come easy if you buy the auto kill. It helps a lot.
And even for a low spender, that auto kill is a big, huge advantage compared to what we used to have back in the day.
Oh yeah, definitely. But would you say for someone who's at a budget, should they focus on the breakthrough skill, or should they go? Because I know from what I have seen with the new officer equipment, it's more bang for your buck rather than getting the 6 star. So what are your thoughts on that?
I would definitely open it. I don't know if I would go to level 18 and forget about 6-star by no means. But I would set a comfortable, as you, for those who don't know, as you're leveling up your breakthrough, the very first one is expensive to open it. Then it drops way down to like 20, 25 or whatever it is, frags needed. But as you go up in the levels, it can increases to where it's like 70 something. I think 70 or close to 80 frags for the very final 18, level 18.
Ooh.
So I would tell you that match the level to your spend. You know what I mean? Maybe your level spend is 4 breakthrough. Maybe it's level 8. There's not a huge difference from 4 to 7 or 7 to 10 that you're going to gain. That would be versus you opening the unworldlies. But you definitely want the breakthrough to work. You want it opened. Even if it's a comfortable, like, how do I say, just opening the breakthrough is I think 50 frags or whatever. It's been a long time. But your first level, I want to say, is 20 or 25. So you literally for 100 frags, you can get almost 3, maybe 4 levels once you've opened it. So I would set that maybe as a benchmark, levels 4 to 7, and then I would flip back to focusing on the unworldlies after that.
Also, I would like to add, in warfare, you technically only need 2 breakthroughs: your Tifa, your Zeus.
True.
Tifa and Zeus.
Yeah, because they're passive.
Yeah, exactly. Aeon is great, but it will largely depend on your stats, and how high your melee HP is. So if you're like 400 melee HP and you get a 18, like level 18 Aeon breakthrough, you're not gonna become a monster, right? So at that point, it's not necessarily needed. Yeah, if you're like actively pushing HP, then sure, opening it up, leveling it up a bit, it will make you a lot stronger when you have it on. But the cooldown is pretty significant. You're not going to use it in every scenario, so that's something to also consider.
Yeah, another example would be like Panda's Exterminate. I mean, everybody loves to see the kills and all that, but if you're a low to very low spender, don't focus on that breakthrough. It's really not going to serve, any major purpose for you. Focus on the 6-star.
All right. Someone by the name Daniel says, "What percentage of your attack fleet is frontline, and what percentage is back row?"
Depends on
To
your
me,
stat.
rule of thumb for me is 20% to 25%, depending what you're attacking, and then
Depends
the
on
rest is gonna be your back. And also, what depends?
depends on your stats.
And your stats, yeah.
If you have a lower, say you have 800 melee HP and 1,000 attack, then you're going to need to have a bigger front line than you would. You know what I mean? If you have 1,000 melee HP and 800 attack, I would say you could lessen your front line. So that's kind of how
Really?
for you to judge it. Yeah.
It's in group attacks. It's much easier to just go ahead and do a steady percentage, though.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Group attacks.
So because
That's
a lot
what I
of
meant.
people, they will want to get more kills. They will want to get more points. So you have, let's say, a fleet size of 600 and a fleet size of 400, and yeah, like the 600. You know what? Let's do 2 600s. One has 200, and one will just say, "Oh, I'm gonna do 100K." Like that's not enough. Yeah, you're gonna get more kills. You're gonna get more points, but it's not fair to everyone else because at the same time your troop skilled ratio of your front is going to decrease as well. So losses, you want to split them up fairly equally across the board.
Agreed. Yeah, in group hits, you definitely want to have a percentage for sure. Individual, you can base it off your stats.
Hope that answered your question. Hudak says, "Look at the battle reports. If you're using a lot of front, the melee will still kill a lot, so melee attack is still a good stat. We don't even really know what defense does."
We do. That's not true.
Oh, what is the answer to that?
I'll defer that to Bo.
Yeah. So melee HP is the overall health pool of the troop, which increases. Defense, it reduces the incoming attack. So if you have melee defense, let's say your 1600 attack, whatever, and this is going to be across the board. So it's going to reduce all of the attacks from enemy melee, from enemy mid, and from enemy long. So it's going to decrease the attack of the opponent.
Works kind of like a reduction then.
Yeah, it is a reduction, technically.
But like a lower scale type of reduction.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you have like 13400 melee defense, it's going to be pretty significant.
Hope that answers the question.
And again, imagine that being stacked by 40, 50, 60, 80
Right.
people. You got to do the math. That's why I say you got to kind of choose as an alliance what you're going to do.
Yeah, like
And-
a lot of people kind of, not that they forget, but they don't, due to bad guidance, I would say. They think that the game is a lot to do with being a solo player or playing by being the one person that attacks the most or whatever. But in reality, the game is mostly a team attack based game.
Absolutely.
That's why you have to go with what the alliance say or what the build they're going for. That way, so you can work together and have the massive amount of that stat. That's what you guys are saying. I imagine if a 40 people have that melee defense or that melee attack, what difference would it make against an alliance that doesn't have that? You know.
The reason why it's so important is you can actually hurt your alliance by not doing it. You will literally water their stats down, and you will bring them down, and you will cause them to literally hurt them and lose more troops by not doing and following what they're doing.
Right. Also, and to the person who always wants to get the most kills and don't put enough frontline just because they want to be the one that doesn't lose troops or wants to get the most kill, that's the worst type of player you want to have in your team.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. I still have a screenshot of Tip sending only mid-range troops somewhere.
Le gasp. Wow.
Well, sometimes when being Batman and all has to save Robin. And I have a fleet that's saved, for those who don't know, in your selection of fleets. You can name those 7 fleets.
Wow.
And fleets is save Robin.
Tisk tick, so greedy, just like Batman. All right. Dread asks, how do you balance the amount of troops you send for each type in order to take advantage of certain breakthrough skills or buff? Example, tactical block, attack again, etc.
What was the question again?
How do you balance the amount of troops you send for each type in order to take advantage of certain breakthrough skills or buffs?
In other words, you want to pop the breakthroughs. How do you get them to pop? What amount of troops do you need? Is there a number?
So no, so like most of them will have like your top 2 troops or whatever. So when you send a formation, you have to pick your top troops. If you're a C38 long ranger, you're going to do primarily T12 shredders and T12 EMPs. You're not going to you're going to use some fillers, maybe some snipers, maybe some cannons, but that's about it, because you are looking at base stats of the troops, and you want to have the base stats of each type as high as possible to be as effective as possible.
Hope that answered your question. You want to add anything to that, Tip?
No, I mean, it's spot on. I mean, the only other thing I would tell you is, you have to keep in mind about Thor too. I mean,
from the Titan. Yeah, because I think, no, not that I think, I know. In the male Titan video that I posted, I mentioned I did mention about Thor and the whole formation issue. Like if you send a bad formation that has like some meat killers, so when the lightning hit those troops and they die, it will prop up Thor. And if you're hitting, if you go into a group attack and you're hitting like a whale per se, and let's say your teammates sent a bunch of those and the whale's Titan kills those, it's gonna prog up their door, which is gonna be a disadvantage for your team because now the whale has the boost up stat from Thor.
Right.
Right. See, I know some things.
Boom.
Any other questions? You guys just keep posting. Let me look what else we got I can ask. Well, if I ask the mid-range build for team play, that's touching the secret source. Let's talk about uranium mine then. What could I guess you already answered. It's balance for uranium mine, isn't it? Like people need to test out the fleet that they can use if
Yeah.
you're mid-range.
You know, a lot of people take the uranium mines personal. I mean, really, uranium mines were designed for.
Just to gather.
I'm guilty of it. I'm not gonna lie, but you know, eventually I got over it. Every now and then, Bo likes to pick on me, and
grew up.
he likes to put a hit out on me. But in the end, the uranium mines are really designed to test, and that's what you should be utilizing. I mean, I understand you need the uranium and all that, but if you go from 37 to 38 now, maybe spend a week of testing out your fleets and see what works best for you. Change the setups, balance. Again, there is no magic formula per se because depending on your stats, you're going to constantly have to adjust things.
Yeah,
That
that's
is-
what it's like. Sorry.
That is very true. And you asked for a formation for mid-range. It is absolutely impossible to give it because it all depends who you are going against, right? So I'll give you an example. Some players are using, like some mid-range players are using roughly 100,000 long-range troops to mitigate the attacks and keep the Titans safe. So, but if you're like a C34, you're not going to have to deal with mech zombies. You're not going to have to deal with mech Titans that are actually, doing a ton of damage to your backline. So everything is going to be completely different. So you have to just pay attention to what level like of strength you are and who you're going against. And the biggest things you're going to have to deal with is going to be your front line and your back line. You don't want your back line to be too small, right? Like you want to have at least, I would say, one, preferably two zombie attacks on your back line to protect your Titans. So once you figure out that number, then you can just start playing around with your front line, with your mid, and kind of go from there. As far as like the amount, like the types of formations, whether it's 2-3-2, 2-5-3, whatever it may be, it will largely depend on your level, and so it's like people have to figure out themselves. It would be a lot easier if it was like a video provided and then we could just, kind of take a look and stuff like that. But normally
it
want
also
to pay
depends on your
attention.
opponent, what they have set. Because all they have to do is change one troop type, and that can change the direction of the male Titan and Ray. And that can affect the Titans drastically.
Yeah.
So it's constantly changing. There is no set formation. It literally depends on your opponent.
Right, especially when it's player versus player, but like player versus environment, there's really there is like a formation for it, right?
Well, it depends on what like event you're doing.
Right.
So
Like,
if you're doing like the daily zombies or Doomsday, that's going to be one formation. But if you're doing like Medici, that's going to be a totally different formation. And even like Medici, there are many different ways of playing it.
right.
So yeah, Tip is going to have a battle with Dark this Monday for whoever gets the top score in Medici. And Dark is very sure that he'll win, but yeah, they're just going to be like different things of how to do certain aspects in order to kind of get to where you're going.
Okay.
I like to refer to it as Halloween. Bucees was that guy that went around to all the doors, knocked on the doors, and got the bag of candy. I was the guy at the very end of the block that went and snatched his candy sack and took it from it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, all I will say is you have never beat Dark Score, and this Monday is going to be very clear.
Well, post the results in the Discord.
Oh, I will. I
My
promise.
Discord, because I'm not I'm not in Woody's Discord anymore
You'll-
for
yeah,
personal reasons.
It will say Robin, so you know.
So okay, so if you win, I'm gonna guess Bodies is gonna become Robin.
Yes, that is correct. It's going to say Robin on Dark's account, which they're good friends. So that was the account we used to change the avatar.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Except one thing, there is absolutely zero chance of Dark losing.
I mean, you guys said the same thing when GC happened with
No.
555 versus 621.
This is different because it's
Uh-huh.
Dark, right? And I know both accounts, and I know that Dark is going to win 100%. Like, there's no .001s.
Not happening. See, but just a little insight. I have Max Titans, Max Plane, Max Zombies. The same knowledge. I mean, 1 + 1 = 2. No matter where you're at, Europe, America, South America, it don't matter. China, Japan, pick a country. It's the same.
Actually, you do have higher Titans, you do have higher Zombies, you do have
Keep going.
higher Plane, you
Mm-hmm.
do have higher Island, you do have
Yep.
higher badges.
Yep.
But there's one thing you don't have.
I haven't purchased your Robin avatar yet for you.
I feel like he's gonna say you don't have me.
Exactly.
You don't have the Bodisi.
Exactly. And this is not, I mean, yeah, Dark is winning 100%.
I like his enthusiasm. That's all I'll say. I just hope he's
Well, I'm excited for Monday. See how the battle goes down.
That
All
gives
right.
him a full week to Google excuses.
No. I mean, there's not going
he's
to be
gonna
any...
disappear from the Discord. He's gonna
Oh,
delete
yeah,
Discord after that.
Oh, I'm leaving.
His best buddy in the world did the same thing.
I'm leaving this Discord anyways, but yeah, no,
Excuses.
it's definitely not an excuse. So Tip is actually going to have president as well. So he's going to have even a bigger buff. That's how sure I am that he's not going to win.
Hey, you have you ever played baseball, Nikki?
I did softball.
Okay, fair enough. You've heard of Babe Ruth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what he's famous for pointing his finger and showing you where he's going to hit the home run?
Mm-hmm.
That's me.
Okay.
So, Elodin asking a question. As an alliance strategy, going for maximum strength in Elite War, would it not be better for mid-range players to only send mid-range to ensure the middle has sufficient troops since 90 to 95% are long-range players? I think that's like a no-brainer.
Depends on your alliance. Again,
That
if you
too,
have,
yeah.
we have quite a few mid-range players in our alliance, which makes us devastating. It's one of the reasons why we're so strong. 5, 6, 7. I mean, and I'll give Bo the credit. He went out, learned the knowledge, and he shared it with the people in his alliance. And now we have 4, 5, 6 solid mid-range players, and you get that going, and it changes the battle. I promise you.
I will add one thing. So I'm pretty sure he asked if mid-range players should only send mid-range troops.
Yeah, to ensure the middle has sufficient troops, since 90 to 95% are long-range players.
It will largely depend on your alliance. For instance, 5, 6, 7. God, top 2 players are mid-range. 3 out of 5 top players are mid-range. So we're looking at, across all stats, we're looking at reductions, we're looking at melee HP, we're looking at melee defense. If we don't send melee, it will actually hurt everybody else because we provide a ton of like frontline strength.
Yeah,
So
imagine 800 melee versus 2000 melee. Which one do you want? Make sure that 2000 melee guy sends his front line as well.
yeah, so that it will depend on the players, on the alliance. I remember Lead God, he would always say like, oh, my mid-range players are they're only sending mid-range troops. In our case, it would be absolutely impossible because the mid-range players, we bring everything else to the table as well. So we can't just go ahead and send our mid-range troops, because if that was the case, our front line would be significantly weaker. So not only are you looking at 400 plus T13 troops, but you're also looking at 2,000 plus melee HP. You're also looking at like 1,100 melee attack. You're looking at like 1,300 plus melee defense. So for us, it's absolutely impossible to do that.
So remember, frontline is very important. Doesn't matter if you're long range or mid range. Always send frontline.
And I believe Eladin is the top mid-range player
in 581.
In 581, so yeah, he has to bring frontline. Hey guys, it was a real pleasure. I got to get going. Tip, aka Robin, you're doing a great job. On Monday, everybody will know the deal. All right.
Yes,
all right,
we
take care, everyone.
Take care, Bo. Thank you for coming.
Yep. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Sorry, Robin had to run some extra errands. I sent him one.
Nah, I'm sure he just made it to the restaurant, or he's hungry already and wants to leave.
What else you got?
Let's see. Is there a preference on which to upgrade first between officer skills and 6-star skills, or is it all a balance? I think we already answered that. It is a balance.
Yeah, everything. The entire game is about balance. It really, truly is.
It's about teamwork, balance, and time management.
Yeah, and the more you balance it, the cheaper the game will be for you, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, of course, you got to know what. I feel like in the beginning, you're obviously going to be testing out what you want to be, either long range or mid range. Majority of the players are going to be long range regardless, because that's what everybody's going to be. But, some people get bored and they want to try out mid range. And like you said, either what's the best time again was like reaching level 30 or 34 to 36. It's like the best time.
I attribute everything to this simple statement: cost to benefit.
Cost to benefit. Yeah.
That's simple. And I really mean that even more so now with the new officer equipment. Because there are huge gains to be made at a very minimal expense. It really, truly is. So you might, a new player, for example, if you got your unworldlies open, for example, on your 6 stars, you might want to take everything to level 5, 6, maybe 10 tops, and then go to your officer equipment and focus on that at the same time as each level to level to level, because it's really cheap to gain. To gain 1% attack at a C41 is ungodly expensive. You know what I mean? I mean, to do
and 6 stars can be super expensive.
Yeah, to do 1% attack increase from a level 8 to level 9 on an unworldly, cheap. $15 maybe, $10. I mean, it's very compared to going higher level.
V-Time was telling me like for $20 you can increase your stats for like by 5 to 8% for $20. That's a bang for your buck right there, just because of officer equipment.
It's a killer deal. It really is. I would focus and remember this word: cost to benefit. In other words, do the math, what it's going to cost you to raise your percentage of whatever you're trying to raise, and how can I spread that money out more evenly throughout the entire options available to me, from unworldlies to titans to equipment to titan equipment to officer equipment, all that. Literally, truly balance it out. Don't just focus all your money on one section. Now, there's a point where I do believe the officers themselves will become the greater benefit to cost per se. But even then, with the new officer equipment, I mean, it's a deal. I ain't gonna lie, it really is a deal.
Yeah, that's what I thought too when I saw it when it came out. I'm gonna put you on my shoulder.
Freaking Nikki.
Let me see if I can do that. Hold on. Can I? Let me grab you. Can I grab you?
I bite.
No, because you have your cheese. Let me. Oh no! Why you went to the back? Hold on. You to the top. There we go.
It would have been neat if you could have sent.
I feel like a little Disney princess with her little mouse pal on her shoulder.
That's funny.
You could have been a bird, but no.
It's a bird. It's a plane. Oh.
It's just Bo. No, sorry, you're not Bo.
Damn.
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 My bad. I'm sorry. The coffee is already leaving out of my system, so now I'm like, I only got one brain cell left now.
That's funny.
Nothing new.
What else you got?
Any other question, guys? Tip is full of tips,
Just the tip.
Just the tip. Yeah, I'm too big. Well, everybody thinks about another question. Is there anything else you wanna, give advice to people who are starting, like newer players? Because the game, as long as it's been, it's like ever growing and all that. Obviously there's like a lot of new players out there. So like, is there any tip you want to give them? Like just a tip. Advice.
I mean, the most important part is have fun. Don't get all frustrated. Don't get all if you lose an event, learn from it. Don't kick 20 players and kill them all. You know what I mean? People do.
But Tip, if they're farmers, I must kill the farmers.
Oh, don't kill the farmers. Farm lives matter.
See, this is why they keep saying that you're a farmer.
And here's why. I'll give you a very true statement. I started for 3 months. I started playing. I was the farmer. Today, I have a max C41 account. Imagine if you had zeroed me and never allowed me to grow to the point that I am today. The nation would have one less, great. I don't like to call it like that, but one less, big fish. You know what I mean? And that's really how you got to look at it. I mean, you can literally see players throughout. I mean, everybody was the same way. They were playing and then they got beat and or they got picked on. They're like, okay, fine. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get them. And next thing you know, you've got this guy that turned into a monster. I mean, truly. I mean, it's pretty cool to see and watch it evolve. So don't just and farmers serve a purpose too. Without the farmers, you ain't got no food. I mean, let's.
Well, that's true for the nations that are dry. They don't have any more food.
Yeah, and C41s, let's face it, they are not the accounts that are setting the traps, right?
Right, that is true. That is true.
It's the farmers that are setting the traps.
That is true. You're preaching right now.
Every person in the game serves a purpose. They really, truly do. And utilize those purposes to the max to help the nation the most they possibly can. Again, for whatever that purpose is, if they're utilizing it and they're doing their part to help the nation, then that's a plus. That's not a negative. Don't kill them.
All right, we got 3 questions. Woohoo! All right. Elvin, for Drill Master, what is better option? Reduce attack from long range Reduce attack from long range / mid range, or increase defense versus long range / mid range. My understanding is both are reducing the attack strength of the attacker.
So that was a lot of information. So, so you're what? So you're.
Can I take a guess?
Sure.
I feel because the base amount of player base, the player base, is 95% long range. I feel you will go for the reduced attack long range.
Yes, if you are and that's one of the advantages we have as a mid-range player. And remember this, An LRA player, again, because 95+% of the players, maybe even a higher percentage to be honest, are LRA, they have to focus on what? Everything to beat an LRA player. So if you see the whales, even the bigger the whales, they will have, 80% of their stats focused on killing LRA, not MRA, which helps the MRA players when we battle a bigger LRA player, because we'll have reductions that are high for killing them, but their reductions for killing us are going to be lower. Think about that. So imagine one player has a reduction of 300 LRA, but he's battling an MRA player that has a reduction of 300 or 400 LRA, because he's focused more of his reductions on LRA. You know what I mean? And the other guy did not focus his reductions on MRA. So it's a win for the mid-range player, for sure. It's an advantage if you want to go.
But is there a point where a mid-range player wants to focus on mid-range?
No,
Because
not
obviously, what if a mid-range player wants to go against somebody who's a mid-range in the uranium mine?
if you, yeah, I mean, and that becomes a uranium, and then now you're to what type of player are you? I would say if you're not going to be a, if your goal is not to be a C38 or higher and have a pretty decent spend, then no, that wouldn't be my
He
focus.
says, sorry, the question is reduce attack of or increase defense versus.
So you're recruit
So
of
reduce the attack. Okay, so reduce the attack of long range / mid range, or increase defense versus long range / mid range.
increase defense to what? Melee.
So I'm gonna. It doesn't say. It says increase defense versus LRA /
The
MRA.
is going to be better. Here's why. Your reduction is his entire attack fleet. In other words, if they're LRA and they're hitting an MRA player, that's their cannons or EMPs or snipers. Right? So you're literally reducing all their strength coming at you. So think about that. So it goes back to the percentage of what it's going to do for you. If you remember, Bucees talked about how melee HP is a way bigger benefit than defense, but defense does serve a purpose. The LRA reduction is going to serve a way more purpose than still a greater benefit than the melee defense. And we're strictly talking about drill masters. Keep that in mind.
Hope that answered your question, Elodin. Lee, you might have said this, but as a mid-range player, what is your long-range attack?
That's a great question. Look, again, the new officer equipment has drastically changed this compared to what it used to be. So right now in the uranium mines, my long-range attack is right at 1,000 almost.
Can you give me a screenshot of that so I can show it?
No.
Why not?
No.
Bad mouse.
Because here's why, and I mean this from bottom of heart. When you see somebody's stats, it'll tell you how to beat them. I mean,
okay, I get it.
Hey, I'll give you this. I'll give everybody this option. You come to 567, I'll give you a free C36. Come learn how to play with us. I'll teach you all secret sauce.
Look at him trying to promote 567.
All the secret sauce that you ever dream of and all you can eat. Sprinkle it all over your chicken, whatever you want. Steak, rice, don't matter. We'll show you. We'll teach you. You'll love it. And the
free C36, and you get the secret sauce of
Absolutely.
567.
Free
and Gigi does not have to spank Tip for saying that. We love you, Gigi.
Come join.
Elodin was responded back to your answer. But isn't the skill increased defense versus long range attack not equivalent?
They are not. And again, what defense? I'm assuming we're talking about melee defense. He keeps saying just defense. I'm assuming he's talking about melee.
Right.
No, the benefit of the LRA is still greater because it let's say the melee defense is a 15% increase per se benefit, whereas the reduction is maybe a 25% benefit to the battle.
He says no.
It depends.
What defense are you talking about, Elodin, or what's the no about? I'll give you a second so you can write it. Let's answer Blast. any suggestion as to what to do with stormtroopers after 35? Keep deleting them or go rockets now?
Never delete anything unless you are trying to stay at a certain fleet per se. Then yes, like in other words, if you want 5 fleets and you want to be able to hide everybody, yes, I would answer. I would say yes, you're correct, but only delete them as a balance. You know what I mean? Don't delete them all, obviously. But I would
Because what if you become a C41 and then you can just
promote them, of course.
promote them? Yeah.
But if you're trying to hide troops and you want to maximize key ones, then yeah, I do agree.
Yeah.
A certain amount, but don't have that your bulk troop, of course. Absolutely.
Right.
I would reduce it.
Okay, so he said, Elodin says the skill is increased defense versus LRA. Where is this skill? Who has this skill?
Is he talking about LRA?
It says the increased defense versus LRA.
Increased defense to LRA.
Well, it says V versus like BS, VS.
But that's verse. I know. I'm trying to figure out the second unworldly that he's talking about.
Drill master. Okay, so drill master.
Yeah, I understand the drill master part. Give me an officer that he's referring to.
Which is the officer? Let me pull my game too. Now I gotta move myself, make myself smaller.
As doing that, I will make this probably one of the most valuable things I can say in the game. Every officer, whether it be warfare, drill,
it's all of them.
or strategy, every officer has a certain amount of available options, right? The key to it is, so in other words, if you go to, they all have 5 unworldly choices. The key to it is to pick the 5 best unworldlies that will benefit you the most based off the build that you're going for. So that is an important statement right there. You'll notice that everybody has different unworldlies. They have different builds. They have this, they have that, they have this. In other words, if I'm a in-nation civil war player, am I going to want a cross-nation unworldly? If I have a in-nation unworldly that pops up, I'm going to want an in-nation, like a siege. Because the cross-nation is only going to help you in void, frenzy, uranium mines, those types of things. Of course,
about polar and iron blood?
they will help you in those. But if you are if you're in civil war, a massive civil war, cross-nation ain't going to help you as much. So it goes back to where are you in? But again, the build depends on what your goal is, and you only have so many options to click. So that's why I'm asking what officer he's looking at.
So
of those,
I'm gonna take a good guess. He said all drill officers, and they all have this thing called defense against melee boost, defense against mid-range boost, defense against long-range boost.
So which defense is he referring to? That's my point.
I'm gonna guess.
So I've got long-range defense. I've got zombie.
Where does it say
defense. I've got mid-range. I mean, I got all the defenses. Which one are you narrowing? Are you telling me you put all 5 unworldlies on a defense? I don't think that's what he's saying.
No. Which one does it say increase? I'm not seeing. Maybe.
You see, you really got to know which officer, and I understand what he's saying, but I do use a melee defense. I will say that, yes. Reduction.
I'm clicking the wrong buttons. Oh my god. It's like so different from the computer from the phone to the computer. I can't never play this game on the computer. Not for me.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, I understand what he's saying. There's 6 on each one, but which one are we referring to? Which defense are we referring to? We're talking about enemy. About LRA defense reduction. I mean, which one are we talking about?
Unfortunately, my drill masters are not developed enough for me to see the 6 stars. I only have one of them.
Well, I mean,
is that enough? They're all the same, right? Defense against long range boost compared to enemy long range attack reduction.
Of versus 2. Okay, so if he's referring to 2, I would agree with him. If he's referring to of, I would disagree with him. And here,
right. Let me read that again for you. Defense against long range boost compared to enemy long range attack reductions.
No, the reduction is going to be better.
Yeah, I would
All
thought
right.
so.
I mean, I've got all 6 reductions on. I'm running 500 and over. I think 510 of both. So I have LRA 510 reduction and 510 reduction on mid range.
Hmm.
So if that gives you an idea.
Ken came in saying increased defense against long range boost is what he is saying. It increases the defense of a whole army against long range troops.
You're yeah, I'm with you, but again, it's a smaller percentage than the attack.
So reduction is regardless, reduction is better.
Reduction is going to be better in that case of but now if there is a melee defense reduction that you may want to pursue. Again, it goes back to the front line. And that's what I would tell you.
Is that the defense against melee boost?
Yes, you do want a certain percentage of that. I mean, it's not a bad thing to have. But it goes back to what you're trying to do. You know, what build are you? I mean, if you pick an officer, I can tell you, you know, kind of what I would choose depending on what it is.
So Aladdin, just pick an officer. Are you? What are you doing with your tablet?
Me?
Yeah, because like when every time you move it, it's like you're talking or it's making a little noise.
Oh, I'm tapping the screen.
Well, Lee came in and said Simon. All right. He
All right.
said Simon. Do they all have the same 6
No,
stars?
they do
No.
not. They have different.
I don't. How can I see Simon? I don't have it.
I have.
You
I
have it, but I don't have it to show it. Can you give me a screenshot,
Of
please?
options or of what?
You know his 6 stars. I guess the one you wanna say. Oh, you should have this and that.
So you want me to show all my 6 stars?
I guess. No, you can just show Simon. He said Simon, and then we'll wait for Elodin to pick one. If he wants Simon, then that's fine.
So again, you can mix and match these. I'll say that. So the attack to melee is huge. You want that.
Can you give me a screenshot?
Oh, you were killing me. You're killing me.
This is not touching the secret sauce. This is just the basics of the basics. You're fine. Gigi's not gonna spank you. You're fine.
My butt. Hold on, let me find it. Here, I'll put it in the screen. You're
It's
killing
just
me.
because I know it's if people are visual. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm a visual learner, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who are visual learners. So if I show it, it will make it easier rather than me saying it or you're saying it. You know what I mean?
All right, there it's in the chat. You've done.
All right, give me 1 second before you keep talking. Let me just add it here. Let's see. All right, this is Tip Simon. All right, go ahead.
So you can mix and match these throughout the offense. Depends on what your build is, of course. So attack to melee is huge because, again, it goes back to killing the front line. And if you'll see, I focus on reductions. Reductions are huge.
I see you have a couple double S's.
I do. I don't. I'm not a. I was in the process of working on the doing triple S on all my war officers and not war officers, drill officers, and then this lovely little thing called officer equipment came out, and has since postponed the completion of that. Again, they are the most expensive thing to do, and you'll find that on almost every single player in the game. This is probably one of the last things you'll see that are triple S. It's because they're so expensive. It was cheaper for me to do level 30s on everything than it was to triple S them.
Right.
And you're only gaining 3%. And the difference in a triple S and a double S is 3% on all of those things that you're looking at.
Oh damn. So from 27% and then you turn it to triple S, it's just gonna be turned to 30%.
Correct. Now put
Yeah,
that to a cost factor.
it's costly.
You need 1,000 frags, and
Mm-hmm.
like $85 per pack that you buy, and you get about 50 frags on average. A little.
Wait, and then you had to max level it again, or no?
No, you just have to.
Oh, okay,
You need a triple S. So let's
gotcha.
say it's say you have to buy what? There's 50 and 1,000. It's 20. So say you have to buy 19.
Mm-hmm.
19 times $85. That is $1,615 to do it to a triple S. If you do
That's
save
a
a lot
lot
of
of
frags.
money.
Yeah, and here's the other problem. Up until recently, we only had how many available officers to choose to and what I mean by that is packs.
Mm.
So like right now with war officers, you have 7 officers that at one point in time they were offering frags to buy, and now they've since canceled Kingsley. You can no longer Kingsley is no longer a option for frags. So now Drill Masters has 6. So now you can buy them at 6, but it didn't used to be that way. It used to
Right.
so but it's always been 7 on Warfare.
Don't
So
you think they have noticed that nobody uses Kingsley?
well, Kingsley's not a bad thing. I mean, it's not something I would focus on if you're, you know what I mean, if you're trying to build an account and you're, average
Mhm.
below average spender. But if you're the trap account and that's your sole purpose, not a bad idea.
Mm. No,
Not a,
you're not. No, no, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
you know what I mean? I mean, again, it goes back to what I said. You build the account for what your purpose is.
Mm.
Everybody has a purpose in the game. Not everybody's going to spend $1 million or plus, like some of these crazy guys. So decide what type of player you want to be or you plan to be, and focus on that.
Okay. So Eldon, I hope that answered your question. For Tip, he focused more mainly on reductions. As you can see, he has zombie attack reduction, long range troop reduction, and the reduce of mid range as well.
Mhm.
Yep.
Now, I would tell you that I've contemplated changing out my mid range, but I thrive on being balanced. It's just
Mm.
how I've played the game. So I could see maybe swapping that and changing it. I mean, I have considered it. I'm not gonna lie. Again, going back that 95+% of the players are LRA. Would it benefit me greater to do and swap that out for maybe a defense like he's talking about? Maybe. I agree. He's probably right. But then what happens when I go up against Monkey King? I mean, it goes back to who you're playing and what type of player you want to be. I don't want to get crushed by another mid-range player completely.
In the uranium mine.
Yeah, I mean, call it
Of
pride,
course.
what you want.
Very prideful you are.
Yeah, I mean, but if I go up against an LRA whale, would it help me to do that? And would I probably, do a lot better? For sure. But at the end of the day, nobody's unbeatable. I can find a fleet that will beat somebody, and really everybody can do that. There's no one fleet beats all.
Right.
It just doesn't work that way. Game's not designed that way. You can change up one little troop or adjust
Yeah, and then
that troop
every update
to the
changes
algorithm.
something.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
That's
So
why checking the battle report, just looking at the troops where they're moving, who's dying
absolutely.
first. Is your Titan dying first? Is your plane dying first? Oh, what's killing your long range, even though you still have your front line, stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's not only the troops that you have, it's the quantity of troops you have. It's the order that they die. I mean, there's so many factors that go into that I would tell you that you really got to look at it. I mean, you really got to. It's the only way to change it up.
So Elodin said, on Simon, defense against long range boost. As said, this increased the defense of the army against long range compared to enemy long range attack reduction, which reduced the attack of long range. They seem to be the same. So I wonder if someone has figured that out.
They are both great. I'm not saying that, but which one is a higher benefit? That's how I based it. In
So
other
you're
words,
looking at is it different percentage from both?
of the overall battle that it contributes to. You see what I'm saying? So let's say it played 4% into that battle versus the other one might have spent or played a 5% into that battle. Which one would you want to go with? The one that played a higher percentage in the battle or the lower?
Higher percentage, of course.
Which is why I did what I did.
Mm.
But then it goes back to who you're attacking. Again, he is right. If you want to build a mid-range account that its sole purpose is to kill a long-range account, then he is 100% correct.
Mm.
But if you're going to balance your account and you don't want to get beat up by you spend all this money or you design this account and then along comes a mid-range player that's, way, 3-4 levels Titans lower and, his stats don't look as good as yours and he smashes you and you're like, what the heck, Camel? How is this guy beating me? And
So,
we've all been there and done that in the mines. You
right.
see these stats and you look at your stats and you're like, I'm way better. Why is this guy killing me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel that sometimes.
There's why. Because you designed your account to kill an LRA player, which again, that's not a bad thing to do. It just depends on what type of player you want to be. Are you want to build for the nation or you want to kind of build for strictly uranium mines or one-on-one player, or do you want to have a balance? I chose to kind of help both and I did balance and that's what I did.
Mm.
I don't
That
want to open them up.
answers. You okay?
Oh, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm hoping the stream is helpful for you guys. And I hope the sound is good because I didn't ask in the beginning like, hey, the we sound good? Is everything sounds great? I don't I didn't ask. I always ask because I want to fix the audio before we prolong the stream, you know what I mean? But I hope the interview is helpful and I hope a lot of questions are being answered and you guys learned something new. This is
One thing I will say is for me, when I switched from LRA to MRA, it kind of re-energized me. It kind of it brought a different level of playing. There's a lot more thought that goes into your fleet setups. There's a lot more thought into designing the base. If you enjoy the analytical side of it, to me, the mid-range is more of that. It's a lot more fun. You can see a lot more benefit to when you change things up.
Don't you have to use a lot more brain power for mid-range?
You do. I agree 100%. But it changes the game, the play of it. It changes everything. It's a lot more fun.
That's true.
I really mean that. And here's the most fun that I can say of anything. When you go into these big group battles, and you're the one that kills the most troops, it kind of does put a smile on your face. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, yeah, I wanted to ask that. How come mid-range players take the most kills? Why is that? Does anybody know why? Why is that, Tim? Why do you guys steal all the kills? Why is that?
It depends on the troops and the cities that are in the battle, of course. When before we ever had 38 or whatever, we had rockets and their big power boost would just snap and kill their back line, would just murder them with that overpowered breakthrough or whatever you want to call it. So for C41s, the Havocs have that 3-ball ability, and it's massive. It just is. It beats them
So
up.
it's because of the troop type.
Yeah, I mean your cannons are going to do a splash damage type hit, so it spreads it out. Ours is going to be a soul kill until it does that ability, and then when that ability pops, it just murders people. It does, and we get more kills from it. It's really that simple. And with the death of the 1198 and people more evenly frontline, putting the front line up there allows the front line to stay alive, allows our mid-range troops to stay alive longer, and as long as our breakthroughs are popping and all that other things and our abilities are popping, we get huge benefit. It's become to where I hate to say this, but the LRA players have become the meat shield. I mean, it really is, and they'll attest to it. They get mad, when you go into a big 40-man hit, and I'm killing 1.2 million troops, and you're killing, 70,000. I mean, there's a little depression there. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, they get their feelings hurt, but at the end of the day, are you an individual player or are you for the team?
Right. It's all about that team mentality.
We don't celebrate as individual except for the individuals to one another. There's a few of us we like to call bragging rights, but we don't do that as a whole, of course.
Mm-hmm.
In a whole, you win that 80-man hit, your 60-man hit, whatever it is, 50-man hit, whatever. You care at the end of the day, you care that you won,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what matters.
Yeah, that's what matters.
But
Lee says, Tip, thanks for the info. Ryan BDB says hi. And Eldon says thanks.
no biggie, all good. Edelman's a great player. I've battled him many times. He's got a great nation himself.
You battle him in the uranium mine or
Oh yeah,
events?
no, we see him all the time.
Oh, so he's just getting the tips to beat you.
He's
like I might as well ask the guy who keeps beating me. I might as well get the secrets.
I tend to pick on people up until this current mines based off uranium. We're all chasing uranium, of course, and with all the rumors coming out, you definitely want to start collecting uranium the most you can, for sure. But I will say this: at my point in the mines, it's kind of boring, because you feel bad when you hit the smaller players. But I got to take my uranium, so it is what it is.
He's a farmer.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh, Eldon says no. He is way above me.
He still has an amazing account. Don't let him fool you. He's a good player. And again,
you're bullying the small player.
Absolutely, but everybody serves a purpose. Everybody does. I truly mean that. Everybody serves a purpose. They do, for sure.
Ooh, I hit my mic. Whoops, sorry.
Farm lives matter.
Farm lives matter.
One thing you take away from this: farm lives matter. They do. Absolutely.
Fish are friends, not food. So I guess farmers are friends, not food.
That's from me. That's classic. I need to remember that one.
Yeah. Classic of the classics. I'm asking Goat if he's coming because he said at some point he was gonna come, but like
the Goat. Now, and that brings another thing up. Like Mental. For those who don't know Mental, he's a great player as well.
Mm-hmm.
He has a hybrid build, which is kind of a.
So I was gonna interview Mental for the mid range, but then Tip over here said, "Oh, he's a hybrid," and then Mental was kind of like educating me in a sense. He's saying like a hybrid build is an account that has high mid range. I'm like, blame Tip. Tip is the one that called you a hybrid.
He is. He's a hybrid build. When your mid range attack is, almost or as high as your LRA attack, that's what we refer to as a hybrid. Both serve a great, purpose, but I would personally think that a hybrid account is more of an individual player. That's my personal opinion, because you're balancing out the stats for your attack, versus if you're in a group hit, you know what I mean? You're going to want a higher individual stat of whatever you're going after. And the reason being is you're watering down your stats when you balance out your troops. So in other words, if you have Havocs and you got 300,000 Havocs and you're a true mid-range player, that's killer. But if now you're a hybrid player and now instead of having 1,800 attack or whatever your level is, say 1,400 attack, and now you drop down to 1,200 attack mid-range, and then you raise up your LRA attack to 1,200. Now you've really got to balance your troops out, right? So now you, instead of having 300,000 in one, you've got to have 150 and 150. But what is constantly happening throughout the breakthrough with splash damage and breakthroughs hitting? And because remember, when a breakthrough hits, it balances it. And then you've got all these other things on the island that pick the two troops with the most amount of troops that it'll sit there and attack. You're literally, instead of having a 5,000 being reduced from, for example, the 300, you're having 5,000 reduced from 150 each. So put that into perspective. Kind of what I would say.
Completely forgot to ask about the island, but who cares about the island anyways?
Island is for whale accounts and people who have a
Mm.
lot of money. I mean, if you're a mid,
Doesn't
an
matter.
average to lower average, Island should not be your focus. Your money can be better spent elsewhere. I would tell you go back to the golden rule, which is cost to benefit. For the amount of money I'm spending, what is the benefit I'm getting?
Mm.
And there are so many other great options to spend that money on in the beginning of the game to get way more. Now, I'm not saying don't get level 1. You know what I mean? But
I
of some
mean, some of them you can get for free. Not for free, but like just doing the event and they'll give it to you, you know?
yeah,
Or
for sure.
yeah, so but like heavily spending just to get that one island piece is the issue, I would say. Not the
Yeah,
issue, but like, there's way better things to focus on. And to me, even though I say playing is the last thing, island, to be honest, is like the last thing you want to touch on.
I'll put it in perspective. If you did the fishing event, for example, everybody knows the fishing event. To max the fishing event one time, you get 2 aquariums. To get those 2 aquariums, I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. It's almost $1,200. That would get
That's
you
too
to a
much.
that would get you to a level 2 aquarium on the island. What could you do with $1,200 on your unworldlies or your
Hmm.
or you know what I mean, or your officer frags? And I mean, there's so much more. Imagine $1,200 you spent on your new officer equipment. What you could accomplish.
Right.
The benefit is way greater elsewhere than focusing on that. Is what I would.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it goes back to cost to benefit. Apply that to everything you do, and you will become a better player. Stat wise.
Mm-hmm. And always remember, it's a team game. And again, the game is not a race, it's a marathon.
Well, yeah, and especially for your newer nations, when I
Yeah.
talk about farm lives, I don't imagine a 1,200 or 1,100 or 1,300 nation now. If you've got 5 players that are, that race up there and they're real good, but you're the only 5 players that can do anything, and then you turn around and kill off all your farmers, what good are you going to do? The only thing that you do for now is you pray for what?
A merger.
Exactly. You know what I mean? But then what do you bring to the table? You only bring 5 players.
Yeah.
You want to bring a solid, as many good players as you can, and
Mm-hmm.
don't kill the farmers. Farm lives matter.
Oh my god. So Dreds asks, what is the secret sauce for each of you that makes you the mid-range player you are? I'm not a mid-range player. By far. No, no, no. I'm long range. But
The secret
tip.
sauce is ever changing because the algorithm is ever changing.
Mm.
They changed the algorithm 3 months ago. I won't get into that secret sauce. You want to learn the secret sauce? Come to 567 and I'll teach you.
There you go. He has a CD. If you want to come, it's for
I,
free.
I've got quite a few C36s that I would give you for free if you want to come learn.
You're going to be the baby, and he's going to take good care of you.
And we really will. We love teaching people, but me teaching another alliance how to beat me, not necessarily what I want to teach. Not alliance, but
Yeah, back then that's what I used to do a lot. Like I would tell people things, and then at the end of the day, it's like all the things I'm teaching somebody, like the secret sauce and whatnot. At the end of the day, they're gonna try to beat me, and then once they beat me, they're gonna rub it in my face, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all because like really, me being nice, giving all this secret sauce, and then you're just gonna rub it in my face? Nah,
and I
forget ya.
don't mind, basic stuff. I'm fine with teaching you. You know what I mean? I don't want,
Yeah, the
but
basic of
I
the
don't want to
basics.
scam or get your money. Don't get me wrong. If they're going to get
Mm-hmm.
your money, I do want you to get the most benefits you can. But
Mm-hmm.
am I going to teach you how to beat me? You got to
No.
come to my nation to learn that.
Dress said going to C36 from C39 would be depressing, but I appreciate the offer.
You say that, and I'll throw this out there. Running a C39 is a lot more expensive than running a C36.
Mm.
And the benefit that you can do and the enjoyment you can have is how I would weigh that. You know what I mean? And we have other accounts too, for the record. I've got a C40 if you want. I mean,
Let's not touch on that subject.
I got a C40, I got 38s, we got 39s. There's always somebody wanting to do something. Keep that in mind. So there's always an option. I'll throw that out there. I'm offering a free C36. Keep that in mind. I'm not offering a free C40.
That's
But
a big difference right there.
absolutely. But here, let me give you an example. Imagine you're a C40 in your nation and you're constantly losing because your nation is in civil war, or
because your nation sucks regardless.
yeah, I mean, are you throwing away, lots of money versus coming to a nation that you could spend very little and get the same enjoyment out of the game?
Mhm.
Weigh that. I mean, I like to win, and I'll give you an example. Our void win rate in 567 is 94+%. Or would you rather be in a nation and be the top 3 and be a void win rate of 40%? To me, mentally, I couldn't accept the 40%. To me, I would feel like I'm literally going to the toilet and flushing my money down the drain.
Mhm.
And then you're praying for a merger, and then what happens when you don't get that merger? There's quite a few nations out there that deserve mergers that haven't gotten them, and they're mentally beat up and
But here's
frustrated.
the thing: even if you do get a merger, does not mean it's gonna be a good merger.
Absolutely, there's been many nations that have gotten crappy mergers. You're 100%
Right.
correct. And then you're like, and then now you've waited this entire time, you've dumped all this money in your account, and Camel blesses you with this crappy merger. Now, how do you feel? Or do you want to go into a nation that has the secret sauce, that has all the recipes that can teach you how to build, that can focus your spending on the right things and help you grow the way you should?
Tip, I picked the right. I'm happy that I made you into a rat because now you're talking about secret sauce and cooking. You're reminding me of Ratatouille. So you're like a little Ratatouille now.
But
I should put a little chef hat on you.
and then we have the golden age question of lock nations versus non-lock nations. Everybody knows 567 is friends to all. We're friend to regular nations. We're friend to lock nations.
Especially China.
We're friends to everybody. But at the end of the day, it's not their fault where they are. It's not their fault where their government allows them to do or not do. So there are great players there. There are great people everywhere, and we go with the approach of be friends with everybody and share knowledge and give knowledge, and it's helped us tremendously. And I would tell you that here's the issue with the situation that we have with the way Camel is doing the mergers right now. I'm not a big fan of a certain nation, but they've done an amazing job recruiting players to balance out the whales that have left. So I would tell you, if you are in one of those nations that is not successful, and if you're or you throwing money at your nation to continue to lose is not helping you, come join one of us. The only way you're ever going to beat a lock nation per se in the GCs is to create a lock nation per se. You know what I mean? And there are a few nations that have done that, and are doing it, still doing it. 385. I'll say a lot of great things about them. They have huge activity, and they don't have any mega whales, but they have a killer balance, and it does great for them. But it's very expensive to play in their nation. You know what I mean? Because activity is huge. 567, we're kind of a balance of everything, so it's not incredibly expensive, but yet we'll teach you things that you've never dreamed you could learn.
Yeah.
So
quote unquote 567 has the secret sauce.
we do, and it comes from a lot of information. We've gained and continue to learn and evolve, and we have tricks to the trade, and we get secrets that are told to us from other places, and trust me, it's very valuable. It helps us a lot, and it really is. It's one of the reasons why our win rate is so high. It's because it's the knowledge that we've gained and acquired, throughout the game from different nations, and can't say it enough.
You win all events? Is that what you're saying?
We've only lost 2 voids ever in the history of 567. And one of them,
well, because your nation is mainly focused on void, not on
because the only way, I mean, we'll look at it like this. Elite wars are all about activity, and how much do you want to throw at it? Is that your focus? You got to really pick the events you want to spend your money on. The only way you're going to win a GC is if you have 180 players. You're going to have 2 massive alliances, so it goes back to not kill the farmers. You've got to have accounts for people to use and spend and save, and you can't win all the voids per se if you're saving up for GC. You got to kind of pick and choose what you want. Do you have a chance at GC? Do you have the activity needed? Do you have the base stats needed for that? It depends on what globe you're in. You know what I mean? And I would say one of the things that we lack in 567 is, if we got another merger, yeah, we would be a contender. Look at 425, prime example. They weren't winning GCs, but now they merged and now they're killing it. They won last year's GC winner, as Nikki did. Thank you for that live that you did, and now they're monsters. We just fought them in Polar. They're monsters. They're a tough nation to beat, and they've recruited some amazing players that have gone there. Mental being one of them, and he's changed that whole nation by him joining them as well. And those are the things you got to do. You've got to recruit good players and create a greater activity level percentage wise. And I would say this again: being in a nation that is in a low win rate, and talking about dumping money in that account, to me, I don't see us getting a triple mergers anytime soon. I think we're all a year and a half out. If you've watched the mergers, used to be we were merging, once a year. Now here we are. We went from GC to GC, and we saw one merger where we used to see two, or it used to be three. Now that's two, and now it's down to one. So you've got, at this point in the game, you've got to make a decision. Do you want to continue to be the top 1, 2, 3 players in your nation, or even the top 10 or 20? But you got to have 100, and that's the key. We're going to have to create our own lock nations, if you want to call it, by consolidating the nations ourselves. And that's the only way you'll ever have a chance in GC. So you can continue to be that guy who goes to GC and you just are the food. Call it what you want. You're the food. It's kind of like playing DOD or Triangle. You know what I mean? When you log on and you see who your opponents are, you're like, okay, well, this is a waste. You can already see who's going to win, right? So do you want to continue down that path? Or do you want to, before you start spending too much money, do you want to join a nation where you can have that money better spent and you can learn and honestly have more fun? And I also say this: if you have 100 active players, or you have, say, 10 active players, which nation would it be cost you more to play? And I'm just talking about play. I'm not talking about to grow your account or anything else. It's cheaper in a nation where you have 100 active players than it is a nation that you have 10 active players, because it balances out the cost of spending.
Also balances off the cost, the cost of spending, but because if you're a nation who's very competitive, to play. I mean, if you're a nation who's very competitive and you have only 26 active, those 26 active are gonna try their best to spend the most because they're trying to win. But obviously, it's gonna be rough for them to win because it's like only 26 of them versus the other nation who has like 80 players.
Yeah, and I'll give you an example. And for math purposes, go into Polar round. Have a nation that has 5 really active players, have a nation that has 40 active players in Polar, and then they hit each other. Obviously, the one with 40 is going to win, but their losses are going to be very minimal, and they're not going to have to use heals. They're not going to have speeds, and it's the same thing in GC as well. You have that many active players in GC, you're not going to have to heal as much. You know what I mean? And it's going to save you a bunch of money. It really, truly is. So by going to a nation that has a higher activity and or knowledge is a win-win for you, for sure.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, due to the social aspect of the game, it's hard for people to leave the nation they're in.
Understand, but that's why we have Discord. That's why you have Facebook. That's why we have X and all that stuff. Twitter, whatever you want to call it. I mean, there's all these other things. And here's the thing: I'm not telling you to go by yourself. Again, there's another nation that has done a great job, that they've recruited not 1 player, but 3, 4, 5 players out of those nations. And that's really what you need to do. I mean, don't leave your friends behind. Bring your friends with you.
Yeah, that's what 269 did. I mean, when I left 52, obviously a couple of us left as well, so we all went to 269.
Absolutely. Bring your friends with you. The more the merrier. I mean, that's what you got to do. If you're sitting here praying for a merger and you're going to spend all this money, and it's not just money, it's time and effort and all those other things, you can only lose so much before mentally you're like, okay, this game's boring. I'm done. I'm not spending this, even a little bit of, whether it be $100 or whether it be, $30,000, whatever it is. At some point you're going to be like, this doesn't make sense. We want to win. I mean, we all play the game, to win. I mean, don't fool
We're
yourself.
all competitive. Like
Absolutely.
when people start saying, "Oh, we're just chilling," or "We're not that competitive," "Oh, we lost," whatever. I mean, it's time to quit. It's time
For
to quit.
sure.
Because
And one of
the game is to be competitive, regardless.
absolutely.
It's all about competition and to
Whether
be
it's
number 1 or 2.
whether it's build your account faster, build your stats faster, or win the void. It's all about competitiveness. That's how Camel got us and hooked us.
Yeah.
Which, 5, 6, 7, the great thing about us is we bring not only the activity, but we bring a huge wealth of knowledge. I mean, huge amount of knowledge. That's one of the that's why, again, as we started this podcast, I told you where I was from. I'm here now for that very reason, for the knowledge. I saved a ton of money. I'm probably spending half of what I did at a cost, and my knowledge is 10 times more than what I ever knew before. Having more fun, spending less, and winning more. That is
now I can see why you have such big rivalry with the name who shall not be mentioned.
And I could have gone there, for the record. I have many friends in that nation. They're great guys. I really honestly have nothing bad to say about them. They really are a great bunch of guys. A few of them there I consider really, 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 really good friends. And it was a hard decision to make. But at the end of the day, I chose because I wanted to learn to be a mid-range player, and the knowledge when it came to learning to be a mid-range player was 1,000 times greater in 5, 6, 7 than if I'd have went that other lines. And that's kind of how I made my decision. I based it off knowledge. It would have been cheaper to play, to be honest, probably in the other nation, but I wouldn't have gained the knowledge that I gained here. And I have a lot more fun with the knowledge and watching things change and evolve as I, apply that knowledge. It's a lot more fun, to be honest. It really is. Being the underdog and beating people is fun. And the only way you're going to do that is through knowledge. And whatever you apply that to, whether it be group hits, individual hits, whatever, it's having that knowledge.
Because knowledge is key.
King.
Yeah. All right, well, we hit the 2-hour mark. So, any last questions? You guys have 2 minutes to write those questions.
Right. Type.
Because Ratatouille over there is hungry and he wants to eat his cheese.
For the record, I'm not gonna lie. For those of you who don't know Texas, we have a gas station called Bucees, and Bucees is our glorified gas station. And I have a.
You have a Bucees. I have a Wawa.
Oh wow! And so Bucees has these different things, and they have the beaver nuggets, and I got some. I ain't gonna lie.
Ooh.
I'll eat them.
I'm ready to go to Wawa. I'm hungry now. I want to go to Wawa.
We got Whataburger here.
He said, Lee says, I know it from Amarillo.
Nice.
Do you
Buc-ee's
have a town called Amarillo, like yellow or Spanish?
Maybe. I don't know. It's huge. Texas is huge. Keep that in mind. But Buc-ee's, take a regular gas, or take a Walmart.
Yes, I know Buc-ee's huge. I have seen the YouTube videos about Buc-ee's.
It's unbelievably huge.
It's much bigger than Wawa because our Wawa is the gas station, and then you got the store inside where you can order food, and that's where a lot of people say like, oh, you go to Starbucks a lot. No, I don't get my coffee from Starbucks because Starbucks is expensive. I go to Wawa. I get my bang for my buck. Got my latte, my salted caramel, cold brew shit, everything way cheaper and healthier than going to Starbucks.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You get lost in a Buc-ee's. You go into Buc-ee's thinking you're getting gas. You come out spending $300. You're like, what the hell just happened? God. You're like, what did I just do? This is a gas station.
Is it like a giant mall or something in there?
It's unbelievable. So much stuff they have. It's everything you can think of. It. I would say it's probably, I don't know, not quite as big as, probably a third. 60% of the size of a Target.
The size of a Target.
60% of the size of a Target. It's huge. You're talking about a gas station that has like 100 gas pumps.
Well, I guess when I go visit Texas, I'll go check out Buc-ee's.
You got to go to Buc-ee's. Get you a t-shirt.
I gotta go to Buc-ee's.
Get you a Buc-ee's.
Get a t-shirt?
You're like, what did I just buy? I can't believe I just bought this. I have no need for this, damn it.
Can you buy ribs?
Everything. You can buy ribs, brisket, you name it. Poor boy, they got breakfast tacos. You can think of it. They got fudge, they got beef jerky. And when I'm saying these individual things are like not just like a few, we're talking like hundreds to choose from. It's like massive. It's really cool. I mean, again, if you're traveling somewhere in Texas, you always make sure you get gas at Buc-ee's because it's really cool to go inside.
Stop by a Buc-ee's. That's
Yeah.
gonna be one of my bucket list travels.
It is. It's
Stop
really
by
cool.
a Buc-ee's and get a shirt.
Yeah, you gotta get the little beaver on your shirt.
Wear it as my pajamas, of course.
They actually sell beaver pajamas there. They do.
Oh my god.
They have everything. I'm kidding you. They have everything from clothing lines to fishing to bar. You can buy barbecues in this place, like giant steel barbecues. I mean, this thing's insane.
Damn.
You can buy everything you can possibly dream: hunting, fishing, whatever you want, souvenirs, gadgets. I mean,
And I thought the Wawa was big, but no, this is next level.
yeah, it's insane. It really, truly is.
Well, you know what they say, everything is bigger in Texas, so I guess it's true.
Bigger and better.
The things, not the men.
Oh, I don't know if that's true.
Mm.
We'll have to agree to disagree on that one. In Texas, Just the Tip is here.
Drez says, I'm in DC and I had some, how do you say this? Haim barbecue? H-E-I-M barbecue.
Gotcha.
Last night. The Texans should know. Winky face.
We do love our barbecue in Texas.
Yeah, you guys all about that barbecue in the cookouts.
Yeah, I think I have 6 barbecues, if that tells you anything.
6 barbecue when?
Like,
a day?
Like 6 barbecues to cook
a week?
on. To cook on in the backyard.
So you have planned 6 barbecues in a week.
No, not cooks. I have literally 6 giant barbecues that you can cook on.
Oh.
Like I can cook probably like.
I feel like I don't believe you. Take a picture of that. I don't believe you.
No, I do. Everybody who knows me seen it. I can probably cook like 50.
That's not fair.
I can cook 50 or 60 briskets at one time.
You don't show me.
I've showed you pics of stuff.
No, you have not. That's a lie.
Oh my gosh!
Damn liar.
I'm a diehard brisket person. Like ribs, brisket, all that stuff.
All right, so you should have called yourself brisket instead of just a tip.
I do like my brisket. You know what? I cleaned out this is a new iPad, so I don't have the pictures on here. But no, I do have. Matter of fact, we have the Houston Rodeo going on. It starts here real soon. I think it already started the cook-off, and it's huge. They have major championships here that are big for barbecue. It's where I learned all my cooking.
Are you fat as a brisket?
I am not. I'm 6'4", 200.
No, you're seedy. You're seedy. Your city, not your physical self. We're talking about your city.
Oh no, I'm a goldfish. I'm a baby goldfish.
You're all about that 3 fleets and then be empty.
I never send more than just the tip. Ask anybody.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. He just sends the tip.
Just the tip.
Just the tip.
As the name says, try just the tip and see how it feels.
Mm-hmm. Well, you just changed it recently. Now you're just a bullet.
I did. You ain't gonna lie. I put it back in the game because Camel decided that my avatar
was too American.
Yeah, it was. I guess I had an American flag in my avatar, people, and I didn't need it that way. Just the way it was, just the picture that had the name in it. You kind of go with what you want or have to choose from. And it had an American flag in there, and Camel said no, and took it out. No flag.
Passes the first knuckle.
I guess they're mad. They're mad right now because they just increased the tariffs on them.
The tariff, yeah.
No flags. So
no flags. If Tip renames himself, that would end the confusion with us.
If I rename?
Yeah, if you rename yourself.
It was either going to be Shaft or Tip. I like to be politically correct and just say the Tip.
I mean, you could call yourself Brisket.
Brisket.
Juicy Brisket.
Well, I also make dino ribs. If you've ever seen those, I could.
No, I don't think I've seen dino ribs.
Yeah, dino ribs are amazing. They're giant.
Where are they coming from? Dinos?
Yeah, look up Google dino ribs. You'll see, and they're massive.
Let me Google.
It's like a mini brisket on a bone.
What part of it is it from a cow?
It's a cow. Yeah, they're beef ribs. They're huge.
So why are they called dino ribs?
Because they look like a dinosaur bone.
Oh, Let me see. Dino ribs.
They're expensive. If you go to a barbecue restaurant and you order a one
they
dino
more-
rib, one dino rib's probably $25, 25 bucks.
Is it more expensive than a Wagyu steak?
No, Wagyu's more expensive. But we're talking about just a regular beef rib that it's just all it is brisket on a bone, basically.
Okay, that is kind of massive. Okay, I see.
Oh, it's huge. The
it's
picture
more
doesn't do it
meat than
justice.
bone.
Yeah, it's huge. Well, the bone, to give you an idea, is probably 12 inches to 14 inches long and
The fuck?
probably 2.5 inches wide.
Wow, I'm learning.
So you can make regular baby backs, your pork ribs or whatever. I prefer baby racks versus spare.
Well, we have learned something new today. Tip does not mess around with his barbecue.
I do not. I
That man
love
knows his meats. He knows
I
his meats.
do. I do know my meats, and I will always give you just the tip.
I want a full brisket, not just one.
I know. I get that all the time. I'm not gonna lie. The ladies do request the whole thing. That's another topic.
Shut the fuck up, Tip.
What? They want the brisket. What do you want me to say?
Okay. The juicy brisket, yeah.
That's funny, but so true.
Good conversation. Okay, I guess like nobody else has any other questions. Tip, any final words you want to say, little mousy self?
Yeah. One last statement. Farm lives matter.
Oh my god. The old me will be like, yeah, okay, whatever, because like if you're in like a really bad nation, people, depending who you're playing with, people hate those type of players. But yeah, it does change. It does change the way things are going.
Imagine going into
commander
GC,
events.
Imagine going into GC with a 100 top alliance, super alliance,
Mm-hmm.
with 100 counts, and then imagine another nation going into the GC with 100 counts, but yet they have a second alliance that now has a bunch of 34s, 35s, and 36s that were all farmers per se.
Yeah, I know. That's what
Imagine
I'm
the
saying.
difference in
That's
that GC
It
outcome.
was my old way of thinking because the way 52 is, and the way 269 and 52 are way different in their way they are handled. But yeah,
Well,
the
GC
meta,
caps you at 250 players, though. Keep that in mind. So the older nations, obviously, they can pull that, but the newer nations, we can't. And if you kill all your farmers, you're not going to be able to ever pull it. Remember.
Right. But like I said, I was trying to say the meta is to keep your farmers alive, and regardless, you still gotta purge. Purging is important, regardless. Even if you have to keep them alive, you gotta purge.
Well, you got to have depending on how old your nation is, you want to start out with probably, in the very beginning, you want to start off with what? I think it's 8 alliances. God, I can't remember how many alliances. Remember, you used to say
10.
Yeah, 10, then 8, then 6, then 7, or whatever.
Academies, like you don't need an academy.
But right around when you get to 3 is typically when you'll merge with the other nation that usually has 3, and then you'll consolidate those. The key to it is to have at least 300 players that are solid. Now, when I say farmers, I'm referring to everybody who's not in the top alliance.
Right.
So let me clarify. I'm not referring to the C20 that's out there collecting minerals for me. I'm referring to the guy.
If Tip is looking for farmers who will collect his minerals and steel, he'll pay. Wink, wink.
No, I don't pay. Promise you. I just come and take. I have 0 farms, if that tells you anything, and I've got a billion minerals. So
me too. And this is why I have an iron deficiency, because I don't have a farm.
Absolutely. But share with your farmers, help them grow. I will say that. If help your farmers grow, it will benefit you in the end, I assure you. Again, I'm not referring to the 10 alliances. I'm referring to the top 3.
Right.
Share, help them grow. That's the key.
Yeah, in 269 we have 3 alliances. We got ARC and NYX, sorry. Sometimes when one of our players is gonna retire, we check the city and we're thinking to ourselves, we this C38 or C37 or C36, because that's what we do have those. We should give it to NYX because maybe that will benefit them better than give it to ARC or a player within our alliance, because majority of our players already C38 and up. You know what I mean?
Exactly what we do. That's why we have extra accounts right now. Very same reason. Yeah. I always continually upgrade your people. having a higher fleet size, and even if they're not the best stats per se, them being able to use T12 shredders is better than them sending T11 tanks.
All right, I think Bo wants to come back in. He's knocking.
Robin's back.
Let me tell him to hop in. What he want to say? Because I'm hungry after talking all about that brisket and dino ribs, Bucees. Now you're eating nuggets.
Beaver nuggets, they call them. They got like 50 different flavors too, by the way. Google it, you'll see.
Is it just chicken nuggets?
No, they're chips. They look like Cheetos.
They look like Cheetos?
Yeah.
But they're called
beaver nuggets. Beaver nuggets.
It's not clicking. You gotta take a picture of that. It's not clicking for me.
Go to Bucees.
Actually, just Google it.
Google Bucees beaver nuggets.
Bucees.
Beaver
nuggets.
nuggets.
Hey, Bella Nugget. They look like kernels.
Yes, but they're like Cheetos. They're just all different flavors and different coating on them, more crunchy.
Oh.
Yeah, they're good. There's Bo Deasy. What's up, Robin?
Are you done eating at the restaurant?
Yes.
Good for you, because I'm hungry now. Because Tip over here was talking about brisket, dino ribs, the cookouts that he has done. He has 6 of them, whatever.
See, that's the only thing he's good for.
Just the meat.
Every void, all right, every void, that guy just made sure he was busy so he could go ahead and barbecue and stuff.
Just like Polo is that Polo, almost not every void, but sometimes Polo loves to golf, and Polo will go golfing at the worst possible time. He's like, Polo, we have void. Polo, we have elite war. You had to come to us. Stop golfing.
Yeah, these guys know exactly what they're doing.
Oh, please. I mean, once you place first, there's nothing left to do.
First, you said?
First? Do you always play first?
Out of the last 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 9, let's say 9 months. Let's just go with the word 9 months. Who has placed more first place?
Not
Anybody else higher than me in the nation? Go ahead, say it, Robin.
Dark. 100%
No.
dark.
Fake news.
Yeah.
Know it.
100%.
Fake news.
Oh, God. It's all right. It's not like
I played so hard, Nikki, that I was on a cruise ship out in the middle of the Gulf of America now, and and I was literally with the worst Wi-Fi in the world, and I still was being a team player, and I played in the middle of a cruise ship, staring out of the ocean.
Oh,
That's how
that
good I
must
was.
have been an easy void.
I know I didn't place first. That was when we fought 374 for the record, and I still placed top 10 and out on a cruise ship. Just go ahead and say it.
I remember that void very, very clearly. Yeah.
Yep. Top 10 out on a cruise ship with horrible Wi-Fi.
That was actually around my birthday.
Southern.
And who placed first?
I don't remember. Like I said, I played top 10. I was on a cruise ship. I was sipping on Bahama Bombas, pina coladas.
I remember who placed first.
I mean,
wasn't it Qatar? Didn't Qatar get hit during that void?
He did, but he may have placed first actually.
Yeah, because it was a big hit.
I can't remember. It was either
name
Bo
that should
or
not be mentioned was bragging about it for like weeks and months.
If you win 9 first place, you got to let somebody else win. I've learned, or they get discouraged and they want to retire and they don't want to play.
Oh yeah, 9 first place in 3 years. That's a very good ratio.
9 in a row. I mean, there's only one void a month. I win 9 months in a row. I mean, what more do you want?
If you look at the void banners, they would argue with you slightly, okay, because somebody gotten a lot more. But it's all right.
Oh, that's okay. Bo watches a lot of CNN, so you have to bear with him.
It's your time to shine.
You refer to Bo as fake news.
Is it your time to be Batman rather than be Robin? Is that what you're saying?
He's always been.
Tip is Robin. I mean, it's literally in his signature. He has
until Monday.
Yeah, no, 13 hours.
Actually, hold on. Yeah, because I don't play around. I got screenshots.
Oh my god. Bo has the receipts.
Oh, this fool, he has screenshots from like 7 years ago. Ridiculous screenshots he has. I think he carries around
All
a
right.
hard drive.
How do you
Okay.
have enough space? Okay, so I'm gonna conclude that this interview is over. We're already off topic. So anybody that's in my Discord, I'm just gonna open the Discord. And anybody who wants to join in, you can join in. And if you want to add your input and you want to keep going the conversation, you're welcome to. I'm gonna open it, and whoever wants to join in and add
Before
input, that's fine. Well, yes.
before you log off, show the comment.
No. I'm not logging off. I'm just gonna open the Discord channel, and whoever wants to join in, they can hop in, ask a question, or put their input. We're gonna do that for the next 30 minutes or less, depending, what's going on. So the channel is open, and anybody who wants to hop in, give their side or input. Let me check this comment.
Yeah, that comment there, so you know, when you were in elementary school, Bo
I'm
was the
still here.
kid that was eating
The
the
live
glue.
stream is not over. It's not over. I'm just
Bo
saying. I'm
was the
just
one eating the
opening
glue.
an
Okay.
invitation.
Bo is a king of cut and paste, just so you know. So you got to be careful what you
Read-
say around him. Cut and paste. That's his motto.
That was
read
18 days ago.
Cut and paste.
hold on. Okay. Oh god.
Lies, Nikki. I tell you, these are lies.
Is this Photoshop? It looks
Photoshop.
Photoshop.
It's cut and paste, Nikki. He's got little scissors over there and some of the stick paste over there. He's doing the whole
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah. So the boys
Oh.
channel is open. If you guys want to hop in and give your input or join in the chat, you're welcome to. I'll be on for the next 30 minutes. The live stream is not over. I'm just pushing it for the next 30 minutes to be still, live. So if you guys want to hop on and give your conversation or want to add something to the whole mid-range build or, beep.
Look at all that fake. Fake. Oh, it's so fake that he went and created his own separate Discord and made it with that fake name and picture just so he could have these things to show.
Oh, wow.
That's how
Stop
fake
it
it
now.
is.
Stop it now.
I'm gonna show it. Hold on.
That's fake.
The chat will decide if this is fake or not.
That is completely fake.
Chat, is this fake?
Fake.
Do these messages look fake to you?
Fake.
I
fake,
can screen record, FYI.
Oh my god.
All you're gonna see is where he went in and created a fake account to talk to
So,
himself, make it look
is
like
this-
it's real.
Is this tip just confirming the contract?
Oh, yeah.
He is
Fine
confirming.
print.
He is confirming that he is definitely Robin, which is
Robin,
totally
yeah.
fine. Which is
No,
totally
no.
fine.
That's not true. Fake news. Fake news. I beat up Bo so hard and took so many first places that he had to retire because the embarrassment was just too much. He couldn't handle it.
Tip. Tip. Okay. I
Guess
had
what?
first place
Do
for
me a
like
favor, find me a
years
account in 567 that says Bodeezy, and
Oh my god, they're
link
fighting.
the title.
Uh-huh.
The no account.
Wait, what did you say?
I said, find me an account in 567 that says Bodeezy on it, and then I'll rescind my statement.
Exactly. I told you.
I
mean,
make you
you know
retire.
this.
I
You know
understand.
this.
I'm not mad. You're a
Don't play
consultant.
anymore.
You are
Well,
Robin.
tip. Shush. Chessmo is asking, who is contact for the C36?
Who should we have in contact, Bo, on that?
Who's what?
I offered a C36 to whoever wants to come come join us.
Just for the secret sauce.
Lana or Ramos?
I don't know those people.
They're in 567. Just go to the Nation 567, see them in there, and just DM.
Or yeah, just DM Tip, and he'll
I
be
can
able
forward
to
you the link,
provide the
yeah.
info.
Perfect. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. Send me on my Discord.
So
And
if you're in
I'll
my
get you in contact.
Discord, Tip is right there. You can see I did tag him in the announcement. You can click his profile right there, or you can tag him in the Discord. He's there too. Yeah, just send Tip slide into his DMs.
Come see how it feels.
That's the only action he'll get. So yeah, please slide in his DMs for once.
Oh, and every 15th of the month, Bucees donates his moonshine to everybody. So it's moonshine is 15th. Just so you know, you'll enjoy it. It's fun.
Oh yeah, Bo. Tip was saying that you're a hillbilly. That all you do is moonshine.
Okay, you have seen me. You have. Well, okay, you don't know
How
much
long
about me.
ago? Like 4 years ago?
Yeah, fact.
It's yeah. So Tip clearly will say absolutely anything, right?
I know.
Yeah. So
That is
you know, it's
completely
it's
true.
the same thing. Like, oh, this was fake. The screenshots were fake. This is fake. I told you, I can provide hard facts. All right, but it's all right. It's okay. I don't need
It's
to
okay.
tell anybody that Tip is Robin because he already knows it.
Nikki, you would be hard pressed to know if he was on the McCoys or the Hatfields. You would have no idea which one he was on.
What the fuck?
That's it.
Chesmo says I'll drive by Bucky's first.
Yo,
Chesmo, you're gonna be his new best friends if you do that.
oh, I'm surrounded by Bucky's everywhere. We have 2 in the city, and every
I mean,
major
I
highway outside of
feel
Houston has
there's not.
Buc-ee's.
It won't take much to impress you. If he talks about meats and briskets and all that, then you'll be impressed enough.
Oh, I know. I do love brisket. I'm not gonna lie. I need to make one. Matter of fact, it's getting close. They're getting warmer.
It's getting. I mean, not in my area. My area is still cold. Very cold.
Yeah, we're in the 70s. I think 78 yesterday. I think.
Right now it is for me. Where's my weather thing? It's like 30 degrees.
It's 24 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, 30. I'm tired of the cold. I want spring. I love spring. Not
Hey,
too hot,
Tip.
not too cold, just perfect.
Tip.
Mm-hmm.
Panda said no tracksuit for you.
Oh.
No tracksuit.
Yeah, we had a old school tracksuit gang. Me, Panda, and RZ. You're not welcome to the club.
Is that code for like your moonshine names or something?
What happened? Why is he not part of the club anymore?
They make better music than I do.
Huh?
Panda said, "Tell him
You're
I
not?
said I know the truth." Hey, Panda, just join voice chat.
Where's he at?
If he's in my Discord, I'll post a link in the YouTube chat. 1 second. The thing I hate is that whenever people join, they can't see this because they're not clicking AOO as the Discord role. Oh, whoop. Whoops, wrong link, guys. That's the link to the YouTube. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Oh god. Whoopsie daisies. Give me a second. That's the wrong link.
Panda.
Do not double that.
Wrong link. Boop. There you go. I see people joining. Give me 1 second.
There
you go. Fraggle, your mic is on.
Oh, my bad.
You're
That's
welcome.
okay. I mean, if you want to say anything, you're welcome to.
I was going to in a minute. I'm at work. I'll join back in a second.
That's okay.
Gotta hurry though, because it's getting close to Bo's nap. He's kind of old, and
no, because I'm hungry. I had the hungies. All I had was coffee.
It's already almost
my tummy is rubbling.
1 o'clock at Bo where he's at, I think. So it's definitely getting close to nap time for him.
Hey, right. I'll take a nap too.
Panda said, "Tell him he needs to get me to 567, then he'd be Batman."
Panda, there's a free C36.
Oh, we have another account with Panda. We'd probably chip in and give it to him if he came.
That is for sure. Panda has always been on top of my list since he was a C35 and I was a C36. Yeah.
Is Panda the guy that I'm thinking about that is good at the uranium mine?
Yeah, he's in 581.
Very strong player. Yeah, he's the top 581 player.
That's where Bosch used to be. It's that old
Oh,
basement.
Elodin said you're not gonna steal Panda.
Ah. Tell him he's welcome to come too.
Elodin, you're welcome to come. Get that secret sauce.
We got a C40 and a C39. We'll hook them both up.
Chesmo, you know you're in the Discord. You can join the voice chat. But
So now that
yeah.
can we bash somebody?
Bash who?
Well, I need it yesterday.
God damn.
That's Bo still starting up.
I'm literally parked outside of the restaurant.
Parked nothing.
So,
That's
yeah.
a still. He's full of it. He just lit the fire.
The brain is that's his brain engine starting.
Hey.
And Bo also likes to reenact the Titanic too, just so you know. That's one of his signature things.
What does that even mean?
Oh God.
He likes to go to his rooftop, lean over towards the water, reach out, let the wind blow through his beard, and sing about me.
Sing about you?
Mm-hmm. Just saying.
Okay, Tip.
That sounds kind of obsessive, don't you think?
I'm shocked too. I'm really shocked. First time he did it, I was kind of like, this is weird.
Guys, don't listen to Tip first of all. So just FYI.
See, this is why Tip is the rat.
Exactly.
Look at his little rat self. Look at him. So cute. So cute.
Man doesn't lie. That's me.
Bella said, I like it here. It's funny to see Bo and Tip as rodents.
And for the record, I've met the real Batman. So there. Now what? So that makes me Batman. The original Batman. The original Batman from the 60s or 70s, whenever that show came out.
Yeah. Guess what? You know who also met Batman? Robin. Okay.
Yeah, you're right, and you're welcome. You met me.
I've never met Batman because then I wouldn't be one, right? If that happened. So
I mean, doesn't Batman has to die for Robin to become the next Batman?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. All he has to do is just fucking retire, okay? Because and that's exactly what happened.
So you're saying that Bo has not retired?
Definitely retired.
Doesn't sound like it.
For the record, he plays more now than he ever did before.
Bet. I believe it.
That's not true. But anyways, let's go back to mid-range.
You want to add anything to it? Like give advice to a budget player, or I don't know, something you always tell to your players who become mid-range. I don't know, something quick, something easy. Easy peasy.
The biggest thing is make sure your team has proper team formations. That way you will get all of the pros of a mid-range without any of the cons. If they don't, obviously you're going to take on pretty big losses. It doesn't matter what your budget is. Focus on officers. Make sure your strategy is well developed. Your Saki and Morgan, your expansions, and prioritize, primary stats, and you will have a lot of fun, but also you will be extremely effective. Okay, there's an ambulance.
Was that the popo in the background? Did they find the still?
It's the ambulance. The Batmobile does not have noise suppression.
No. So yeah.
Yeah, Bo collects muskets. I don't know if you knew that or not.
What? Bo collects what?
Muskets.
Muskets?
The hillbillies do. They shoot the raccoons and the squirrels with their muskets.
No.
Where
not the
do
raccoons.
you even come up with this shit? Okay, you got another one coming. Okay, now it's a fire truck.
Oh, another! They're coming for him. That steel's gonna.
Oh, soon enough, the bat signal's gonna come up, and then you gotta go. Oh, I see the trash panda. Hold on, let me give him the tag, and then you can tag him. He's there now. other one I want to give him? And that's it. And then there you go. Yeah.
Let's
TP
see.
can come in here and verify everything I'm saying is true.
I mean, if I knew he
Absolutely
was
not.
gonna come in, I would have made him into a raccoon, and you will see a raccoon coming out of nowhere. And then the whole live stream is full of rodents. Uh-huh.
All you need is to give me and Panda a tracksuit. None for tip though.
You make sure it's fireproof because when they stand close to that still, sometimes things can happen.
But what kind of tracksuit? Is it the running tracksuit or like a race car tracksuit? What kind
No,
of...
It's called
like
moonshine run. You know, back in the day, that's how they hyped up all the cars. They put the moonshine
I'm
in
not
No,
that
the
no.
cars and they
old.
race.
No,
That's the moonshine thing.
Adidas tracksuits. All right, like with 3 stripes.
So like the Russian outfit with the tracksuit.
Let's just go back to
Not-
Prohibition days. Prohibition days, they used to run the moonshine back and forth to the United States and Canada. And I ain't one to say where Bo lives, but I'll let you do the math.
Well, welcome to the live stream, guys. We're having a history lesson instead of talking about mid-range, which is okay.
No, those tracksuits got to be made of velour.
Oh,
See?
Lord.
See? Fireproof, right?
Velour.
They're
Only
all
velour.
shiny, soft, and just beautiful.
Is
Tip
that
would
like
not
a
know
moonshine
anything
event or
about it.
something?
Tip. Chesmo says that he already slided in your DMs.
All right, fair enough. Since we're done here, I'll pass that information over. Absolutely.
Oh, somebody by the name of Ali says, "What troop is the best to kill Rocket?" Ah.
Cannons.
Just throw money at it.
The power of money.
Cannons would be the best counter for rockets.
Even if they're not
mean-
T12, even if they're T11 cannons, they'll still work.
I mean, T11 cannons are busting. They're good. I mean,
Yeah.
that's all I have at the moment until I become a C40.
No, they'll still work against the.
So,
they still work.
Trooper special, not trooper, rocket special, it has a range. And cannons are out of that range. So technically, if both front lines are holding, then rockets, they're special. They will be hitting snipers. They will be hitting EMPs, but they will not go after cannons. So their special, I mean, is going to be, random troops. But yeah, if you want to have a clean cut counter for rockets, use cannons.
And speaking of specials, Bucees has half off on pints on Friday.
Oh God! Can you mute Tiff right now?
Just give him some cheese.
That's it. He needs a lot more than cheese.
Put a
Well, you
little
gotta
muscle
feed.
on him.
When you feed the beast, you feed the beast steak. That's why.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, Trash Panda, I heard you're a strong player.
I get by.
He's a fat
Get-
panda.
That's a very humble way of saying I'm strong as fuck.
So you're a whale.
No, I'm more of a sea turtle. I like to just float around and chill. Everybody else on here is a whale. I mean, I'll mess up your ankles, and you'll never dance again. But
Not the ankles. You bite the ankles.
Just do like Bo does and spike the drink.
that's
Jesus.
it.
God.
Or you can do a little razz and maybe roofie someone. Maybe. I'm
No,
just
we
kidding.
don't.
I'm just
We
kidding.
do not mention that name. No.
His name is
Treat it
banned.
like the name is banned. Treat it like Voldemort.
Oh,
You don't get no attention. No attention at all.
He's
But yeah,
officially
Panda
gone.
is a very strong player. C41 long ranger, amazing stats, amazing build. Titans, planes, zombies, everything. So yeah.
And
Is
he's
it
fat
because
as
he
hell.
knows this? Is it because he knows the secret sauce of 567?
He is very knowledgeable about the game. So he has a very good build.
What's your First Nation, Panda?
571.
Oh. I see.
I was trying to get him to become my teammate since he was 571. It failed.
But did it?
But did it though? Did it? Question mark. Chesmo says, what about the knuckles? Knuckles? I guess the knuckles. I don't know.
Kinkle?
Cankles? Oh,
No.
that's what it says?
Yeah, so cankles are gonna be like those dino ribs.
Oh. Oh, hey, it's
Hello,
now the goat
everyone.
is here. We got a goat on the screen.
Where's Goat?
Oh.
Up
There's
here.
Goat.
Let me show you guys. Let me show you. Hold on.
I
see the
can't
goat.
see your screen. I'm just on Discord, so I can't see anything.
No. Look at the Discord. You see, I put a
Oh,
goat.
Hold on. Hey, Bo, say something.
is that time to appear when I appear or something?
Look at Bo. Look at the hamster.
I thought that was a rat.
Sorry.
At least I'm a cute hamster and not a rat.
See, you're
All
so
right?
cute. You're
Yeah, with a
fluffy.
robin. He's Robin with his little
Who's-
mask on there.
Who's the rat?
Hey, quiet down, Goat. You're killing me here. I didn't choose it.
No, I'm just asking who's the rat.
That's
It's him.
Panda. That's
It's
Panda.
him.
That's funny.
You're like, hey, yo, it's a rat.
Oh my god. Sorry guys, I've had the day from hell today, just dealing with compliance problems after another. Ugh.
A lot of
Yeah.
ugh. Yeah,
Did yours?
yeah.
Do you have a still like Bo? Did it go down or what?
What? Say that again?
No tracksuits.
No tracksuit for you? Reach out to
Oh,
Bo.
you gotta
He's got a
earn that.
tracksuit one.
God.
Mm-hmm. Definitely got to earn the tracksuit.
So you guys are probably at what, 3 hours in?
Almost.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it's
You-
just Tip rambling nonsense for 3 hours without providing any useful information.
No. The first hour.
I got to be
First 1
careful what
hour
I
to 2.
say. I mean, I can't give too much freaking information. I get told and threatened, you better not say this.
Listen. The first hour to 2 hours has been very knowledgeable. There's a lot of information. We answer questions, and Tip was pretty good, not giving the sauce away.
Trying not to, trying to
Now
give
we're-
a
now-
roundabout answer.
Now the extra hours is just us rambling about barbecue, Bucees, the tracksuit, and people
I
coming in
mean-
and just giving in their, just giving their input. We're just chatting at this point. We're just chatting.
But is the
Last
live is the live still going though? The YouTube
Yeah,
live?
we're just we're just chatting at this point.
Jesus. So if anyone bloody goes to click your video and watch it, they're gonna be like, what's this 4 hour long nonsense?
I mean, I could cut it, but like sometimes there's people that listen to the podcast while they're working, driving.
driving.
Yeah, and then
Why
hey,
the-
this is just extra laughter, extra entertainment. You know what I mean?
Why the moonshine is boiling.
I'm still intrigued. Did you set up the video to where when I come on the goat appears, or was
Yep.
that just always there?
No, this is the first time.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's really good.
that's why Tip is a rat with cheese, and whenever he talks, the rat moves to look at me, and then you got Tip over here being like he comes in and out, so he's a hamster, and then there's you, upside
he-
down.
Hang on a minute, but his name is Trash Panda. Shouldn't that be a panda?
That's what I
No, this is Tip.
No, that's
Tip
you
is
right.
the
You're right,
rat.
Goat. You said it right the
No,
first time.
we know Tip is a rat. We know that. Sorry, bro.
Panda was not in the
Ah,
plans of
damn.
coming in, so
I had to phrase it that way. And then Trash Panda should be a panda.
I
Bodisi.
know
What animal's Bodisi then?
he's a hamster.
He's Robin.
He's a
He's
chunky
Robin.
hamster.
Why are you a hamster?
He's a Robin.
I have
He's-
no idea.
Because he's a moonshine guy with a big old beard and he's got a chubby belly.
Okay.
And it's very hairy too.
His beard goes down to his belly button.
What animal are you, Nikki?
Bella, I'm just me.
No, you have to be. If you're gonna put us as farm animals and woodland creatures, what are you?
The Disney princess.
No, we'll think of one.
Bella says,
What?
Nick, you'll
Go
have
on.
a zoo before much longer. Yeah, I'm gonna end up having a zoo here.
Hang on a minute. We need everyone. Let's figure out what animal Nikki can be.
Hmm. Think.
Maybe not a rat because she's not on Tip's level. Oh, jeez, I'm trying to think.
Think. What animal can I be?
And I gotta be careful what I say as well because I don't want to say certain things.
Well, am I a cat or a dog?
I'm going with cricket.
Why a cricket?
Because you're always chirping.
That's not bad.
That's true, actually.
Crickets do not trip. That's a damn lie.
Hey,
They hop.
Nikki,
Hmm?
Nikki.
Yeah.
There was one player that mentioned melee attack and the fact that melee kills. I just wanted to let the guy check base stats of different troops, and then he'll be able to kind of figure out what's what with melee attack and the base stats of those troops.
So
Basically,
are you gonna give examples of that?
I mean, all he has to do is just log into the city and then check whatever level, and then you look at mid-range attack, like just base attack, long-range base attack, and then look at melee base attack, and then
come out of the troop.
he'll be able to, yeah, with like not your stats, but base stats of the troop. So, for instance, T13 cannons will have attack of 1600. Right, and then tanks will have an attack of 960. Once you also consider the specials of each troop and then what it does, you'll be able to kind of figure out the whole melee attack thing.
He's trying to be as helpful as possible, but as cryptic as possible. All
Yeah,
at the
he's
same
a
time.
rat.
Hey, that's so hard, man.
He should be the Riddler and not Robin.
Well, yeah, he could be the Riddler, but he ain't never Batman.
Sorry, guys, I've got to take another call. I'll be back in a bit.
It's okay.
All right.
Bella says I could be a pretty flamingo because of my hair.
Yeah, Bo can man where to get your hair done. He gets his beard trimmed all the time.
I'm gonna turn Tip. I mean, not Tip. I'm gonna turn Bro into the Riddler. Just put a question mark on his forehead, and turn him green. Yeah, that will work. Is the Riddler green? I can't remember.
It's so it is.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same color of the mash that Bo uses.
He's Irish.
But to add to what Robin was saying earlier about having 100 players versus 26 or 30 or whatever, some of us only have 30 players, so we're doing what we can, and we need a merge.
Well,
so
but
there's
that
anybody out
you're not
there
going to get a merge. That's why you're better off to come join us.
Wink, wink. Wink, wink, wink.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
know.
You can only dress her up so much. When you got
is a good
you
mention
put
too.
lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. We tried to dress up Bo. He still looks like a fucking hillbilly. There's nothing you can do. You put a suit on him, it doesn't matter. He's still a freaking hillbilly.
Damn, Tip. Bo, Tip is just taking shots after shots.
It's okay. You know what? Because when Boyd comes along, he's not going to be taking any shots, so I'm just letting him take all the shots he can get right now, and that's it.
Bo literally asked me for my vacation schedule every year, so he knows when he can actually win a void. Just so you know.
Oh my god.
No, when I asked, it was so I knew when he's going to be ducking and dodging fights. Okay, because he's scared of troop loss and all of that stuff.
Fake news.
And you know what? And you know what? Each and every time he was on vacation or he was busy or he was doing all of that, I always have screenshots of him still gathering in mines. That's why he's called a farmer.
I will say, Bo does play good. He does play hard. He just has to play 5 times longer than I do to get the same score. That's all. I can play an hour or two and get the high score. He has to play 10 hours to
Okay.
get the same score.
Tip. First of all, played when Bo played. Okay. So when I played, we
But
never had the same score because when I was running
to the fire to keep
million,
the
you were sitting on a few hundred
the wheel
million.
going.
So yeah, there's
Hey, Bo.
absolutely.
I still got over 900 days of heals. How you doing in that?
I have no. See, that was a trick question. I don't know.
You were ready to answer that though.
He was too.
I plead the fifth.
So how do you take first if you don't play? I'm just curious.
Wink, wink.
When I played.
Oh, you mean all those years ago when you used to play? Oh, okay. Because according to you,
Okay.
you weren't playing when I joined, according to you. So I've been winning for 9 months. I'm just saying. I mean, it's
Can you
weird. I
show
have 3
me?
weeks vacation. I took 3 weeks off.
Hey,
Happened to be during void,
hey,
and I won 9 months. I'm just
Tip,
saying.
tip,
Math is math.
Tip. 1 second. Let me do some very basic math right now. Just
Oh,
super
well, this
basic.
you counting the pints or what?
No, I'm counting. Okay. Your Void Wars Honor Pack. I love Daddy DZ. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, you need to
Okay,
get your
hold on.
feet out. Get your feet out now. I know it's hard to count farther
Hold on.
than that. Get your
Hold
feet.
on. So you have 4. You have 4 and over a year.
Oh my
Now,
Any further, that's the
now-
problem. He's stuck at 4. I
now,
want him to 5.
no.
God. He
Hold
can
on,
only
hold on,
count
hold
up
on.
to 4.
Yeah.
Okay, now. Okay, 1 second. Now let's look at my old account. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
You know, I'm not
13,
counting the ones when I was a
What are we counting?
Yeah,
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. I got 26 Void Tyrants. Tib got 4.
But I came from the other nation. Now, if you go to the other nation, I got another 26 over there. So now I've really got 30.
Absolutely
So let's do
not.
the math here.
Absolutely not.
So did we learn anything about mid-range builds or?
Yeah. In the first hour or two, this is just extra. This is just
with
extra.
these two, it's always going to be extra.
Oh yeah. I learned about Bucees. I learned that Tip loves to cook barbecue. I learned that
Bo does
He's a
moonshine.
very
does
good sidekick.
moonshine, and no tracksuit for Tip because he's a rat.
They don't make tracksuits in his size.
Yes.
They
Exactly.
don't have them in this muscular size. They only have them with big beer belly.
It's only a medium for you. Only mediums.
Some mediums. Yeah, pretty much. Well, since that was fun, I'm just gonna cut it here at 3 hours and 8 minutes. That should be not too long, not too short, I guess I could say.
Like Goldilocks.
Final... Just right. So any last words for you guys?
Farm lives matter.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we know where our next president's coming from.
Who's the next president?
Hey, if farm lives didn't matter, we wouldn't have Panda and we wouldn't have Bucees today. That's all I want to say.
So you're calling them a farmer?
Yes.
Yes, I am.
Yes, we're all farmers at heart, regardless.
My last words will be MR is called Master Race for a reason. So, yeah. Don't be afraid to try it. If you try it, you will love it. And that's it.
Just be smart about it with the spending.
Next time, somebody bring some snacks.
Yeah, snacks would be good. Tip was eating some Bucky nuggets, whatever.
Beaver nuggets.
He's not sharing. He's eating all of it.
Yeah,
well, you got to
has...
get away from both. Every time he starts drinking, I mean, that's all he wants to do.
See, I was right to give you that piece of cheese for real.
You need to
All
get a
right,
hit
so we
roll.
got to get back to work so we can make money to play this game.
Are we still on live?
No.
No. I'm just gonna say it. So thank you everybody for coming. Thank you, Tip. Thank you, Bo, Trash Panda. Thank you guys for asking questions. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all to the next live stream coming at sometime this month. But yeah, thank you everybody. Have a good day. Bye.